Chapter 2221. The Great World Can Also Be Reborn. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign spoke of an ancient secret, which happened to explain Lin Moyu's previous doubts. At that time, the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign had already made all preparations, left his inheritance, and was ready to leave this world. He hadn't planned to come to the Finger Ruins. Most of the 12 core ancient runes were already shattered, and the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign had no intention of staying. This matched the situation when Lin Moyu first obtained the Zon Star rune. At that time, the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign gave him the same feeling. The entire world had been ruthlessly abandoned by these heavenly sovereigns, with little nostalgia. Leaving the inheritance was, in his view, the greatest grace. It was at that time that he was approached by the mysterious master. Who was he? The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign didn't explicitly say, but it wasn't hard to guess that he was the mysterious master. The mysterious master found the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign and had him do some things. Even though the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign was reluctant, he had no choice but to comply. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign recollected the remaining core ancient runes, repaired the shattered ones, and made arrangements in the Finger Ruins. But he was in a hurry at the time. He needed to leave the Great World. Leaving the Great World wasn't something that could be done at will. Certain conditions had to be met. Those conditions didn't appear just any time. This also explained why the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign's behavior in the Finger Ruins was so abnormal, completely different from what had been seen before. The appearance of the mysterious master completely disrupted the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign's plans. In the end, the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign completed the mysterious master's request and left the Great World. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign sighed with a hint of helplessness. I thought his prediction that someone would come to take the core ancient runes was just a guess. I didn't expect it to be true. He really sees further than we do. It's a pity that back then, he was just a bit short. Otherwise, we wouldn't have needed to leave. The outside world is full of storms. It's not necessarily better. After all, it's leaving one's homeland. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign sighed deeply. Despite his eccentric personality, this remnant soul seemed to be quite sentimental. Lin Moyu asked, Senior, did any heavenly sovereigns really die back then? The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign glanced at Lin Moyu. Are you planning to search for the remains of the heavenly sovereigns? Lin Moyu admitted frankly, yes. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign's tone became serious. I advise you not to seek death. Lin Moyu quickly said, Please guide me, Senior. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign said, Heavenly sovereigns are different from supremes. The rule world within a heavenly sovereign doesn't collapse after death but evolves on its own. No one knows what it will evolve into, but I can tell you it will be extremely dangerous. Not just you, even a peak supreme might not return safely. Heavenly sovereigns are on another level. If you have the chance to reach that level in the future, you'll naturally understand. Sighing, the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign continued, the hope for this world is already dim. What he did back then, I think, was meaningless. Lin Moyu didn't argue. Standing in different positions naturally led to different views. He and the mysterious master stood on the same side, believing that the great world could still be saved. The heavenly sovereigns had already made their decisions, so they had no right to make sarcastic comments. The fate of the great world no longer concerned them. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign squinted his eyes, looking around, and finally sighed, This remnant soul of mine is about to dissipate. Since you are my inheritor, I'll leave you something more. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign's body emitted a faint glow, and the aura of a heavenly sovereign rapidly ascended, pushing Lin Moyu away with an invisible force. The power of a heavenly sovereign was too strong, so strong that Lin Moyu couldn't resist at all. Even just a remnant soul had enough power to kill a supreme. A rune appeared in the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign's palm, ancient, powerful, and exuding an astonishing aura. It was a 6th-level ancient rune, stronger than the 12 core ancient runes of the Rune Warrior. The strength of the Rune Warrior lay in its combination, using 12 5th-level ancient runes as the core, along with a large amount of top-tier materials and countless other runes, ultimately forming a 7th-level Rune Warrior. A single core ancient rune wasn't as high grade as the one before him. Lin Moyu admired it like a piece of art, but the more he looked, the stranger it seemed. Although this ancient rune was powerful, Lin Moyu felt it had only one function, escape. The Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign condensed the 6th-level ancient rune, consuming a vast amount of power, making his remnant soul almost disappear. When the 6th-level ancient rune was fully condensed, the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign's remnant soul was nearly gone. He handed the ancient rune to Lin Moyu. This is a life-saving rune. If you truly enter the remains of a heavenly sovereign, this rune can save your life. Remember, there's only one rune. Once used, it's gone. The life-saving rune was permanently solidified by the power of the heavenly sovereign, just like the core ancient runes. As long as it wasn't used, it wouldn't dissipate. Lin Moyu put away the life-saving rune and sincerely bowed to the holy rune heavenly sovereign. Thank you, senior. The holy rune heavenly sovereign laughed. This world has nothing to do with me anymore. Good luck. With that, the holy rune heavenly sovereign completely disappeared. From the holy rune heavenly sovereign's words, Lin Moyu could feel the helplessness he felt when he decided to leave. Standing in the starry sky, watching the holy rune heavenly sovereign dissipate, Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh. What happened to the great world? Why did the heavenly sovereigns of ancient times think the great world was beyond saving? 2 million years, such a long time, why didn't the heavenly sovereigns try to save the great world? Suddenly, a voice rang out, because they couldn't save it. Lin Moyu looked up sharply and saw a mass of mist. The voice was too familiar, unforgettable after hearing it once. The mysterious master had arrived. Here, not only was there a remnant soul of the holy rune heavenly sovereign, but also a mark left by the mysterious master. The mysterious master's methods were more advanced than those of the holy rune heavenly sovereign. Clearly, the holy rune heavenly sovereign didn't know of his existence. Only after the holy rune heavenly sovereign dissipated did the mysterious master appear, as if everything was within his calculations. Greetings, senior. Lin Moyu bowed to the mysterious master. Please enlighten me, senior. The mysterious master, hidden in the mist, spoke in his unique voice. The runes of the great world have undergone some changes. You can understand it as the source of the great world being severely damaged, and this damage is irreversible. Over time, the damage to the great world will grow until it eventually collapses. If it can devour the source of other worlds, there might be a chance. The heavenly sovereigns went to the world sea and saw the future of the great world. In the next million years, no world will encounter the great world. At that time, there were only two paths for the heavenly sovereigns. One was for someone to ascend to the Tao sovereign and use the power of the Tao sovereign to repair the source of the great world. The other was to leave the great world, severing all causal ties with it. Lin Moyu immediately understood, but with the source of the great world damaged, the path to becoming a Tao sovereign is blocked. The heavenly sovereigns actually had only one path. The mysterious master said softly, exactly. As Lin Moyu spoke, he carefully sensed, but he couldn't detect the mysterious master's soul fluctuations. Without leaving a remnant soul, how was he communicating with him? The mysterious master had once again touched upon a realm that Lin Moyu couldn't understand. Unable to comprehend it, Lin Moyu stopped trying. But why didn't you leave, senior? The mysterious master replied, I have my reasons for staying. Lin Moyu said, senior believes there is a third path, that the great world can still be saved. The mysterious master let out a light laugh. Then what do you think all my efforts are for? This statement, Lin Moyu inexplicably felt that the mysterious master's tone was somewhat familiar. The mysterious master continued, the great world can indeed be saved, but it's very difficult. However, if successful, the great world will have a chance to be reborn. Chapter 2222, 2222. Chapter 2222, Are you willing? The mysterious master spoke with certainty. From his words, Lin Moyu could tell that he had deep feelings for the great world, far surpassing those of the heavenly sovereigns who had fled. It wasn't just feelings, he was also full of confidence in the great world, believing that it had not yet reached its end. He had calculated far ahead, seen far ahead, and glimpsed the trajectory of fate. Fate, however, constantly changes. What he saw might not necessarily happen. At most, it was just a higher probability, but every step the mysterious master took was calculated accurately, proving his prowess. The mysterious master continued, I have indeed seen a lot. Although it was just a fragment of fate, it was enough. Your appearance, your existence, is the opportunity for the great world. For this, I have made many preparations, which might be of help to you. The reason the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign repaired the shattered core ancient runes was because of the mysterious master. Not only that, but he also left behind the world-destroying fire, which could allow one to refine world crystals and construct a perfect rule world. Lin Moyu thought he might have other arrangements as well. Senior, what if I fail? Lin Moyu asked. The mist surged, and the mysterious master chuckled. If you fail, then it can only be said that fate is so. But if you don't try, are you willing? Are you willing? Lin Moyu's heart trembled slightly. The mysterious master's words were deafening. Are you willing? If I don't try, how could I be willing? Lin Moyu's voice was firm, his choice identical to that of the mysterious master. How could he be willing if he didn't try? The mist surged more violently, as if the mysterious master was laughing, but no sound came out. After a moment, a flame suddenly lit up in the mist, growing brighter and brighter, flying out of the mist and turning into a flame. This was the world-destroying fire, which Lin Moyu naturally recognized. But the world-destroying fire before him was much purer and stronger than his own. The mysterious master said, "This is the origin of the world-destroying fire that I condensed. You can absorb it to enhance your own world-destroying fire. When your world-destroying fire is strong enough, refine this relic. I once integrated the rule worlds of two supremes into this relic. It can be refined into world crystals." Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. This was the mysterious master's second gift. The first time, he had passed on the world-destroying fire to him. Later, the world-destroying fire had helped him several times, playing a huge role. This time, he gave him the origin of the world-destroying fire to enhance his own. Lin Moyu felt a bit moved. The mysterious master had seen him in the river of fate and made various arrangements. Separated by millions of years, the two shared the same goal of saving the great world. From his words, Lin Moyu could feel his deep affection for the great world. Although Lin Moyu's feelings for the great world were not as deep, he had to save it for his wife, friends, and family. There were too many things he couldn't let go of, unlike the heavenly sovereigns who abandoned everything for their own path. Lin Moyu asked, "Senior, is it really impossible to obtain the heavenly sovereigns' corpses?" The mysterious master calmly said, "There is nothing in the world that is truly unobtainable. The world is like this, and so are the heavenly sovereigns' corpses. It's just a matter of difficulty. If a Tao sovereign wanted to obtain the heavenly sovereigns' corpses, do you think he could?" Lin Moyu nodded. "In the end, it's still a matter of strength." The mysterious master chuckled. "Besides strength, sometimes luck is also important. You've always had good luck, and with the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect, many dangers can be easily resolved. The Cloud Mist sect's inheritance is excellent. Study it well. The interplay of reality and illusion is fundamental." The mysterious master's voice gradually faded, and this remnant soul began to dissipate. Since handing over the origin of the world-destroying fire, the remnant soul had been dissipating at an alarming rate. His task here was complete, and there was no need for him to exist any longer. Lin Moyu sighed softly and respectfully saluted, "Farewell, senior." For some reason, this mysterious master gave Lin Moyu a sense of familiarity. At the same time, he felt that the mysterious master had not truly left. The arrangements left by the mysterious master were not limited to this. Perhaps they would meet again somewhere. Lin Moyu carefully pondered the mysterious master's words. It seems that a heavenly sovereign did indeed die. It's just that obtaining the heavenly sovereigns' corpses is extremely difficult and dangerous, but not entirely impossible. Luck is important, the Cloud Mist sect's inheritance is important, but merely understanding the interplay of reality and illusion is not enough. Luck, fortune, karma. Little Mist has comprehended the law of fortune. Perhaps I can borrow her power. Quote. Lin Moyu thought of many things, considering various possibilities. Finally, he stopped his rapidly spinning thoughts and focused on the origin of the world-destroying fire. This flame exuded a strong aura of origin. Absorbing it could greatly enhance his own world-destroying fire. Cultivating the world-destroying fire was difficult. The world tree continuously supplied soul power as nourishment, but it would take thousands or even tens of thousands of years for the world-destroying fire to grow. Before that, the world-destroying fire could only refine some broken worlds. When facing larger worlds, it would be powerless. The relic contained the rule worlds of two supremes. With his current world-destroying fire, it was almost impossible to refine. Now, as long as he could absorb the origin of the world-destroying fire, he could quickly enhance his own. Lin Moyu no longer hesitated and began to absorb the origin of the world-destroying fire. He had a premonition that the world-destroying fire would be of great use in the future. In the central hall of the Divine City, the Rune Saint Sovereign brought the latest news. The Rune Saint Sovereign's eyes were serious. As Lin Shi predicted, the Demon Race and the Golden Eagle Clan have already left their seeds in the outer domain. The Golden Eagle Clan, led by the Eagle Emperor, paid a huge price to break through the border region. The Eagle Emperor's avatar fought a battle with the Celestial Dragon, and it seems the Eagle Emperor's avatar was severely injured. On the demon race's side, we detected an ancient power being activated. According to the Human Emperor's database, it should be the demon ancestor altar being activated. After the altar was activated, the aura of the demon race's saint sovereigns disappeared. It seems they were sent to the outer domain. We are currently searching for the hidden location of the Black Blood Great Realm and have locked onto several star regions. Relying on the surveillance system left from ancient times, the Rune Saint Sovereign obtained a lot of information, combined with the intelligence heard from the Hopewood ancestral tree. Through rigorous analysis, they obtained relatively accurate results. The Heavenly Saint Sovereign sneered, "It's fine. As long as the main forces are still here, some minor issues can be ignored for now. The outer domain is not a good place. They may not survive even if they get there." The House Saint Sovereign said, "Indeed, it is as Lin Xiaoyu predicted. The demon race, as one of the powerful races, once produced heavenly sovereigns and would certainly have some heritage." The Rune Saint Sovereign expressed some concern. "Lin Shi has been in the Finger Ruins for several months now. We don't know when he will return." The Heavenly Saint Sovereign shook his head, "It's hard to say. The Finger Ruins are vast and full of dangers. It might take a considerable amount of time. Lin Xiaoyu left a skeleton before he went. As long as the skeleton is fine, he is fine." The House Saint Sovereign said, "Believe in Lin Xiaoyu's strength. He will be fine." In the corner of the central hall, a skeleton as white as jade stood quietly, motionless. As long as it was fine, it meant Lin Moyu was safe. In the outer domain's starry sky, 3 demon race Saint Sovereigns stopped. Behind them, each had a team of hundreds of thousands. They had left the domain and had been flying in the outer domain for several months. The Hell Demon Sovereign said, "Let's part ways here. I hope we can meet again in the future. There will be a chance. One day, we will return and destroy the human race." The voice of hatred echoed in the outer domain, and the 3 teams parted ways, disappearing into the darkness. Far away from them, a team from the Golden Eagle clan was also flying rapidly, getting farther and farther away. Chapter 2223, 2223. Chapter 2223, Refining the Relic, Burning the Soul. Lin Moyu's entire body was enveloped in flames. The undying golden body spontaneously activated, and the undying flame flowed over the surface of his skin. Outside the undying flame was the world-destroying fire. The 2 flames looked very similar but were fundamentally different. The undying flame contained the power of life, a force that could revive beings who had been dead for countless years, turning them into resurrected beings. The world-destroying fire, on the other hand, was pure death, burning and refining everything, completely annihilating it. As Lin Moyu's realm grew higher, he could see more and more. He discovered that the undying flame and the world-destroying fire were opposites, completely different. This was very similar to the undying law, which also contained both the power of life and the power of death. The 2 flames seemed to coexist without conflict, so he enveloped his entire body in the world-destroying fire, with the undying flame flowing on the surface. As expected, the 2 flames did not conflict at all. One positive, one negative, one illusory, one real. ... The undying flame appears real but actually contains the power of illusion, seemingly connected to time and fate, able to find traces from the distant past to perform resurrection. The world-destroying fire, on the other hand, is the power of reality, burning the world, destroying everything, erasing all traces. Lin Moyu's eyes were filled with contemplation as he sensed the world-destroying fire and the undying flame, understanding their similarities and differences. He wanted to know not only how but also why. Days passed, and in the blink of an eye, 10 years had gone by. Lin Moyu remained motionless in the relic, comprehending for a full 10 years. In these 10 years, he not only completed the absorption of the world-destroying fire's origin but also enhanced his own world-destroying fire by at least 10 times. At the same time, his understanding of the world-destroying fire greatly improved, making it more effortless to control. 10 years later, Lin Moyu's eyes carried a hint of madness as he muttered to himself, "The world-destroying fire can burn the world, even burning the world's origin. Then the Tao poison in my body should also be burnable." Lin Moyu felt confident in his judgment. After long periods of enlightenment, much of the Tao poison remained, and only a portion had dissipated over 10 years. According to previous calculations, it would take at least another 30 to 50 years for the Tao poison to be completely cleared. If the world-destroying fire could eliminate the Tao poison, the next steps could be advanced, saving a lot of time. Lin Moyu located the Tao poison, a small, inconspicuous mark on his soul. It was a mark planted by the Great World's runes, and various methods had been tried to remove it, all in vain. Even after self-destructing his soul and using the rebirth talent, the Tao poison couldn't be removed. A Buddhist chant echoed, and the Buddha Lich appeared beside him. Using the true sight technique, Lin Moyu tried to verify through the law of fate whether his idea was feasible, whether the world-destroying fire could eliminate the Tao poison. As soon as the true sight technique was activated, the Buddha Lich let out a sharp scream, and flames suddenly erupted from its body, instantly turning it to ashes. Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment. The Buddha Lich was dead. The world-destroying fire had just flickered and directly burned the law of fate, simultaneously burning the Buddha Lich. It seems the Buddha Lich was too weak. Once it involves too powerful a force, it can't function. This wasn't the first time the Buddha Lich's limitations were too low, unable to handle overly powerful forces. It seems I can only try it myself. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and he used the fortune explosion technique to maximize his luck. He blessed himself, hoping the fortune explosion technique might bring him good luck. Whether it worked or not, boosting luck was never a bad idea. With a dragon's roar, the world-destroying fire touched the Tao poison. A sizzling sound seemed to echo, and intense pain surged from his soul. Lin Moyu groaned, gritting his teeth. Burning the soul really isn't pleasant. Though it was painful, his eyes were filled with joy. The Tao poison was indeed decreasing under the burning of the world-destroying fire. Even the Tao poison could be refined and burned. The power of the world-destroying fire was astonishing. Painful as it is, as long as it works. Lin Moyu gritted his teeth and endured. He proceeded cautiously, fearing that a single misstep might burn away his soul. Half an hour later, the Tao poison was finally completely cleared, and Lin Moyu immediately moved the world-destroying fire away. The world tree transmitted abundant soul power, replenishing the consumption. Lin Moyu gasped for breath, feeling the pain recede like a tide, and self-mockingly said, "Burning my own soul with fire, probably only I have ever done that." No matter how painful the process, clearing the Tao poison was a great achievement. Lin Moyu's eyes became resolute. "Next, it's time to refine you." The world-destroying fire floated from his palm, exploding in the void. In an instant, the world-destroying fire crossed space, sweeping through the entire relic within seconds. Numerous runes collapsed under the burning of the world-destroying fire, and space twisted and collapsed as well. The world-destroying fire burned souls and refined the world, its power extremely terrifying. Even the remnant souls of heavenly sovereigns couldn't resist the world-destroying fire. The rule worlds left behind by supremes after their death, without their masters, were even less able to resist. Lin Moyu could clearly feel the world collapsing, with countless rule powers emerging from the rule world, all being burned away. After being burned, the rule power turns into a pure, impurity-free force. This force has no attributes, contains no laws or rules, but seems capable of evolving into any law. This force should be the world's origin power. Lin Moyu realized that the world's origin power was extremely important to the Great World and was key to its restoration. During the refining of the rule world, part of the origin power returned to the heavens and earth, re-entering the Great World. Another part was refined into world crystals for his own use. This part of the origin power had no marks and was of little use to the Great World. After the death of supremes and heavenly sovereigns, most of their power would return to the Great World, cycling endlessly. But the heavenly sovereigns left, taking the power that belonged to the Great World with them, breaking the cycle. Lin Moyu finally understood why the heavenly sovereigns felt they had failed the Great World. Their departure further harmed the already wounded Great World. It was like rubbing salt into a wound. As beings of the Great World, they naturally felt guilty. Lin Moyu understood but felt helpless. After all, they were heavenly sovereigns. They had left, so what could be done? Now, the only hope for restoring the Great World was the Battle Realm, which would arrive in over 1,000 years. Refining the Battle Realm and allowing the Great World to absorb its origin power might be the only way to restore the Great World. The finger ruins rumbled and shook, continuously collapsing. It grew smaller and smaller, gradually disappearing. 10 days later, the finger ruins completely vanished from the starry sky. As soon as the finger ruins disappeared, the Rune Saint Sovereign received the news. They knew Lin Moyu had succeeded. Laughter echoed from the central hall of the divine city. Lin Xiaoyu is indeed formidable, even ancient relics couldn't stop him. The House Saint Sovereign also laughed. Of the 6 ancient relics, only 5 remain. Lin Xiaoyu will probably visit them all. That's right, I will visit them all. Lin Moyu appeared at the entrance of the central hall, striding in. The Saint Sovereigns all stood up. Lin Xiaoyu, you're finally back. Congratulations on your safe return, Master Lin. Chapter 2224. 2224. Chapter 2224. Sweeping the starry sky, searching for Dragon Balls. During the 10 years Lin Moyu spent at the Finger Ruins, the human race's god venerations were continuously transporting resources from star systems. They encountered some sporadic resistance, but it was futile, merely resulting in more deaths. The 100 Races Alliance had completely collapsed, and the Demon Race and the Golden Eagle clan had each closed off their star regions. They knew what fate awaited them. The decisions made by the Eagle Emperor and the Demon Lord were essentially to leave a way out for their respective races. Only the Black Blood Great Realm people had not been found yet. They were like pests hiding in dark corners, difficult to discover. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry about these matters. Now that he had a method to clear the Dao poison, the next steps would be easier. The human race's plan remained unchanged. Transporting star systems would still take decades. Lin Moyu returned to the Divine City and shared with the Saint Sovereigns what he had encountered in the Finger Ruins. He mentioned the 12 core ancient runes and the possibility of recreating ancient rune warriors in the future. Lin Moyu handed the 12 core ancient runes to the Rune Saint Sovereign and provided detailed methods for their refinement, allowing him to study them first. He had other matters to attend to and didn't have time for this at the moment. After discussing in the central hall for half a day, Lin Moyu left again. He arrived at the Sword Realm and stood outside it. The Sword Realm was already sealed. Standing outside, he could feel the sword intent within. Traces of rule power seeped out, and Lin Moyu sensed his sister's aura. Lin Mohan's aura was much stronger than before. Lin Moyu knew she had already stepped into the Saint Sovereign realm and was currently constructing her rule world. Constructing a rule world is a complex process that takes a long time. Most Saint Sovereigns first construct an outline and then gradually perfect it, making it stronger. The entire process could take anywhere from 100 to several hundred or even 1,000 years. Lin Moyu didn't know how far along his sister was, but he knew he couldn't disturb her. Lin Mohan seemed to sense Lin Moyu's presence, and a sword cry echoed from within the Sword Realm, reaching outside. After hearing this, Lin Moyu took a step and disappeared. The starry sky became quiet again as Lin Moyu moved silently through it. Space warped and folded, and space gates continuously appeared. Lin Moyu kept opening space gates, and in the blink of an eye, he had left the human star region. Next, he had 2 tasks. First, to search for the remnants of the various races. Most of the 100 Races Alliance had been exterminated, but some remnants still existed. To Lin Moyu, these remnants represented karma and were also rewards for the Great World. To sever karma for the Great World, these people had to die. The second task was to search for the Dragon Balls. He had promised the Celestial Dragon, and he intended to fulfill that promise. Lin Moyu arrived at the edge of the domain and began to slow down. Each time he opened a space gate, he moved about 100 light years. Every 100 light years, Lin Moyu would release 10,000 skeleton god generals to search the nearby area. He had 2.5 billion skeleton god generals, enough to cover a vast star region. Once the skeleton god generals were used up, he still had 500 million Death Knights. The Undead Legion possessed undead vision, which could see soul flames from incredibly far distances. No matter how the remnants hid, it was useless, especially after the Undead Legion collectively advanced to the other shore realm, their undead vision became even stronger. Even if hidden in formations or shattered stars, they could still be seen. The massive Undead Legion spread out in the starry sky, beginning a grand search and sweep. Soon, remnants were discovered, and facing the other shore realm Undead Legion, their fate was sealed. While searching for remnants, Lin Moyu also began searching for the Dragon Balls. Of the 5 Dragon Balls, 3 were within the domain. 1 had already been found, and 2 were still missing. Before taking action, he had already searched the human star region but hadn't found any Dragon Balls. The domain was vast, and searching it was quite laborious. Lin Moyu had no better method and could only search bit by bit. The fortune explosion technique continued to operate, bringing good luck to Lin Moyu. After understanding the power of illusion and reality, Lin Moyu knew how miraculous the fortune explosion technique was. Sometimes, luck is more important than strength. the starry sky gradually became sparse as more and more stars were transported away. The number of stars in the human star region increased, and with the increase in resources, the human race's fortune also grew stronger. In recent years, many geniuses had emerged within the human race. They were exceptionally talented and cultivated at an astonishing speed. The emergence of many geniuses was also a sign of the human race's rise to prosperity. The human race was entering a golden age of cultivation, and everyone was filled with confidence. In the past 10,000 years, things had never been this good. In the demon race's ancestral land, the demon ancestor altar burned with flames year-round. The demon lord manipulated the corpse of a supreme demon, sitting in the altar, enduring the burning flames. The vitality in the corpse continuously increased, especially in the past 10 years, occasionally letting out low growls. The growls were filled with anger and hatred. Each growl brought more flames, which drilled into the corpse. In the past year, red light began to shine from the corpse's eyes, filled with intense killing intent. Humans, I will make you pay. Finally, the dried corpse let out a voice filled with hatred amidst the growls. It continued to absorb the flames, and the demon ancestor altar kept shaking and glowing, with continuous rumbling sounds. In the Golden Eagle clan, the Eagle Emperor's face was grim. His avatar had fought a bloody battle, finally breaking through the boundary and escaping to the outer domain. But not long ago, they encountered a disaster in the outer domain. They came across an ancient human warship, which attacked their team without warning. The warship had the combat power of a saint sovereign, and the Eagle Emperor's avatar was no match for it. Many clan members died under the warship's attacks. In the end, he let his clan members escape while he chose to perish with the warship. His avatar died, and his clan members scattered, their fates unknown. He had completely lost contact with his clan members. The outer domain was not a safe place, and it was uncertain how many of his clan members would survive. All the saint sovereigns in the clan had died in battle, and now even his avatar was dead. All of this was caused by the human race. He let out a roar, transforming into a golden eagle, flying towards the core area of the Golden Eagle clan. Humans, even if we have lost, we will not let you have it easy. His voice echoed within the Golden Eagle clan, filled with hatred, shaking the starry sky. Lin Moyu woke up from his state of enlightenment once again. Over the years, about 1/5 of the domain's space had been searched. Several more races had been exterminated, and Lin Moyu had entered a state of enlightenment several times. The duration varied, sometimes lasting over 10 days, sometimes just 1 or 2 days. Each time he entered enlightenment, it meant another race had been exterminated, severing another piece of karma for the great world. This time, the enlightenment lasted 3 days, and the exterminated race was a small one. Lin Moyu's body was enveloped in rule power, which had grown much stronger compared to before. Now, 1/3 of his laws had been sublimated into rule power. The speed of sublimation during enlightenment was very fast. 3 days were equivalent to 1 or 2 years. Having 4 laws to sublimate is indeed slower than ordinary other shore realm cultivators. Lin Moyu chuckled. While 4 laws were powerful, sublimating them into rule power also required 4 times the time. Without the help of enlightenment, this step alone would take Lin Moyu at least 100 years, and he wouldn't be able to move during that time. Now, with the help of enlightenment, the required time was greatly reduced. The world-destroying fire ignited, and Lin Moyu let out a muffled groan. The newly formed traces of Dao poison were cleared by the world-destroying fire. Let's continue. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and he opened a space gate, crossing hundreds of light years while taking out the dragon-seeking orb. A faint light shone in the starry sky, and the dragon-seeking orb finally reacted. Chapter 2225, 2225. Chapter 2225, returning the favor twice as much today, finally found it. A look of joy appeared in Lin Moyu's eyes. After searching for the Dragon Balls for over 10 years, he finally got a response. The dragon-seeking orb could sense Dragon Balls within 1,000 light years, and the distance was still quite far. The space gate opened several times, each time spanning 100 light years, and Lin Moyu quickly approached the location of the Dragon Ball. As he got closer to the Dragon Ball, the joy in his eyes gradually faded and was replaced by caution. This was a dark starry sky with very little light. Vaguely, he could see a space in a twisted state, unlike the obvious vortex of a secret realm entrance. This twisted starry sky was very inconspicuous, and one could easily fly into it by accident. On the human star map, this area was marked in red, indicating it was extremely dangerous. This was one of the 6 ancient ruins. Now that the finger ruins were gone, the 6 ancient ruins were now called the 5 great ruins. This ancient ruin was named the Stonefall Ruins. 70,000 years ago, there was a saint sovereign named Shiyun in the human race. Back then, Saint Sovereign Shiyun came here to explore and ultimately fell inside. At that time, torrential rain fell over half of the human star region for half a day. Since then, this ruin was named the Stonefall Ruins. Among the 6 ruins, 3 had saint sovereigns fall within them and were classified as particularly dangerous. The Stonefall Ruins were one of them. In terms of danger, the Stonefall Ruins were much more dangerous than the Finger Ruins. The Finger Ruins were not naturally evolved. After being modified by the Holy Rune Heavenly Sovereign, they were more like a high-difficulty secret realm, not very dangerous. But the Stonefall Ruins. I didn't expect the Dragon Ball to be inside here. This result is really bad. Lin Moyu would rather the Dragon Ball be in the hands of the Demon Lord or the Eagle Emperor than in such a dangerous ruin. Things didn't go as he wished. This was the reality. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and did not rush in immediately. The ruins were full of dangers, and he didn't know what might happen. At this moment, the Undead Legion was busy. If he recalled the entire Undead Legion, the previous arrangements would have to be redone, which would be too time-consuming and labor-intensive. Let's come back later. After all, the Dragon Ball won't run away. Since he already knew the Dragon Ball was here, Lin Moyu didn't need to rush. He immediately turned around and left, continuing to search for another Dragon Ball. In the following years, Lin Moyu continued to search for the Dragon Balls, occasionally entering a state of enlightenment. One by one, the remnants were found and killed, leaving none behind. More and more laws were sublimated into rules, and Lin Moyu gradually established himself in the other shore realm. After 60 years of sweeping, the domain space was thoroughly cleaned by Lin Moyu, and most of the remnants were found. Unfortunately, in these 60 years, he still couldn't find the whereabouts of the 3rd Dragon Ball. However, Lin Moyu had roughly locked onto the Dragon Ball's location, most likely with the Golden Eagle clan. By this time, the starry sky had finally been cleaned up, and the number of stars in the human star region had multiplied several times. Lin Moyu could see the human star region shrouded in a mist of fortune. This was the fortune of the human race. Resources and fortune are closely related. The more resources occupied, the stronger the race's fortune. Lin Moyu didn't think his actions were cruel. Even if there was a mistake, it wasn't his fault. Those races should have been exterminated in ancient times, but the human race was too kind back then, leading to the ultimate mistake. He was just correcting the past errors. Lin Moyu could say with a clear conscience, "I have no regrets." The War God Fortress flew out of the human star region. Now, the human race once again drew their swords, targeting the demon race and the Golden Eagle clan. Lin Moyu waited outside the star region. When the War God Fortress arrived, he entered it. "Greetings, seniors." Inside the War God Fortress, all the saint sovereigns of the human race were gathered. This time, the human race did not dispatch a large army, only sending 8 saint sovereigns in the War God Fortress, without even mobilizing the other shore realm. With the Undead Legion, there was no need to mobilize the other shore realm. Lin Moyu's undead army was stronger than the human army. 30 billion other shore realm undead, a terrifying number. The Heavenly Saint Sovereign and others repeatedly felt fortunate that Lin Moyu belonged to the human race. If Lin Moyu were a demon race member, it would be the human race that was doomed. At this time, the human race had 8 saint sovereigns. The Flame Saint Sovereign had perfected his rule world, and his aura was much stronger than before. Lin Mohan stood aside, her beautiful face frosty, occasionally showing a slight smile only to Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu cleverly stood beside Lin Mohan, occasionally whispering to her. After greeting everyone, Lin Moyu came to Lin Mohan. Xiao Wu originally wanted to rush over and hang on Lin Moyu, but Lin Mohan stopped her with a glance. Xiao Wu was very obedient to this big sister. "Sister, how is your cultivation going?" Lin Moyu walked side by side with Lin Mohan to another place. Lin Mohan nodded slightly. "It's going well. The rule world is more than half complete, just one last step." Lin Moyu sensed something different. "What is the last step? What conditions are needed?" Lin Mohan said, "Kill someone, dye the sword with blood." "How many do you need to kill?" "Just one, the stronger, the better." Lin Moyu understood. "Then leave the Demon Lord to you. I'll just watch the show." Lin Mohan chuckled. Who else could handle the demon lord? Her tone wasn't disdainful, just full of confidence in herself. Among those present, besides Lin Moyu, only she could handle the demon lord. This was a fact, no need for humility. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat, thinking of the mysterious master. The mysterious master's tone was somewhat similar to Lin Mohan's. How strange, maybe it's just a similar way of speaking. Could it be that my sister is the reincarnation of the mysterious master? It's said that Lin Mohan is the reincarnation of an ancient power. If she were indeed the reincarnation of the mysterious master, it wouldn't be impossible. But so what? Even if she were the reincarnation of the mysterious master, Lin Mohan was still his sister, and that wouldn't change. Lin Moyu dismissed the unnecessary thoughts and said, "All right, leave the demon lord to you. We'll handle the rest." The war god fortress silently sank into deep space, heading towards the demon star region. For 60 years, the demon star region had been completely sealed off, becoming extremely quiet. They were waiting for the storm to come, and now, the storm had arrived. The war god fortress appeared outside the demon star region without any warning and suddenly launched an attack. The starry sky trembled, barriers shattered, and alarms blared within the demon race. Countless stars were activated, and barriers lit up one after another, but they couldn't stop the war god fortress. Lin Moyu silently disappeared, continuously opening space gates, circling the demon star region, and releasing the undead legion. The undead legion formed a large net, surrounding the demon star region. The purpose was simple, not to let a single demon escape. The war god fortress advanced all the way. Without the saint sovereigns, the demon race couldn't stop it. Within the demon race, starlight shone, and flames erupted, forming powerful demons rushing towards the war god fortress. Barriers evolved, and the demons made their final resistance. The space gate opened, and Lin Moyu appeared inside the demon race. With a light touch of his finger, the bone hell flew out, covering the starry sky and devouring star systems. They've been hungry for a long time. Enjoy your meal. A cruel smile appeared on Lin Moyu's lips. What the demon race had done to the human race in the past would be repaid twice as much today. Chapter 2226, 2226. Chapter 2226. Lin Mohan's world-destroying sword. The undead legion was merely standing guard and not attacking. The demons were food for the bone hell, and they wouldn't compete for it. During the 100 Races War, the bone hell had already devoured a large number of living beings. Then, after exterminating the Ox Demon clan, it devoured even more. At that time, Lin Moyu had infused the bone hell with the undying law. After the fusion of the powers of illusion and reality, the bone hell was now on the verge of advancing. According to Lin Moyu's calculations, the demons were enough to allow the bone hell to advance to the other shore realm. For the bone hell, advancing from the god veneration realm to the other shore realm was a huge leap. In the future great wars, the bone hell would undoubtedly play a significant role. This had long been part of Lin Moyu's plan. The saint sovereigns would lead the war god fortress in the assault, and the rest would be left to Lin Moyu. If they encountered the demon lord, Lin Mohan would handle it, so there was no need to worry too much. However, Lin Moyu had still made a backup plan. He gave the Eye of Corruption to Little Mist, along with a resurrected being from the Black Blood Great Realm at the other shore realm. If things went wrong, Little Mist would use the Eye of Corruption against the demon lord. Large swaths of star systems were devoured, and countless living beings became food for the hellish fiends, nourishing the bone hell. The river of hellfire roared, raising massive waves that swept many demons into it. The demons swallowed by the river of hellfire screamed in agony as their bodies quickly melted, leaving them no chance to escape. Even god venerations were no exception. Facing the river of hellfire, they too met their end. The demon race was an old and powerful race, possessing 10,000 star systems, second only to the human race. Compared to them, the Ox Demon clan was insignificant, the gap was immense. The more star systems, the more demons, and naturally, more food for the bone hell. Lin Moyu could feel the bone hell rapidly growing, approaching the other shore realm. On the other side, the saint sovereigns controlled the war god fortress, advancing with unstoppable momentum. The demon race had countless barriers, but they all shattered under the saint sovereigns' fierce attacks. With a determination to kill, the saint sovereigns charged into the core area of the demon race. Countless demons emerged from the core area, including god venerations and other shore realm beings. This was the stronghold of the demon race, where they were most numerous and powerful. However, the saint sovereigns of the demon race had all left, and relying solely on the other shore realm and god venerations was akin to courting death. The sword saint sovereign snorted coldly, "A bunch of trash." She swung her long sword, unleashing countless sword chi that swept across the starry sky. The sword of a saint sovereign was unstoppable by mere god venerations and other shore realm beings. Even the aftermath of her attacks killed some weaker god venerations. The faces of the other shore realm demons changed drastically, and they unleashed their full power to resist the sword chi. "Retreat quickly," the other shore realm demons roared, taking the brunt of the sword chi to protect the god venerations. Blood splattered in the starry sky, and countless severed limbs and flesh flew around. Although the other shore realm beings didn't die, they were all severely injured. Despite all being in the other shore realm, the combat power of a saint sovereign completely crushed ordinary other shore realm beings. The god venerations fared even worse, with dozens dead and hundreds severely injured. The sword saint sovereign snorted coldly, and her rule world appeared, ready to strike again. The heavenly saint sovereign spoke up, "Take it easy, don't destroy the star systems, these are resources." The sword saint sovereign raised an eyebrow, "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing." She lightly swung her long sword, retracting most of her power. In an instant, the starry sky transformed into a sea of swords, with countless sword chi weaving into a net, enveloping the demons. Despair filled the demons, hearts they had no power to resist against a saint sovereign. A giant hand appeared out of thin air, engulfed in roaring flames, and with a bang, it extinguished the sea of swords. The sea of swords was extinguished, the sword momentum was interrupted, and the sword saint sovereign frowned, feeling uncomfortable. The saint sovereigns immediately became vigilant, knowing that the demon lord had arrived. The demon lord, after all, was a half-step supreme, extremely powerful. An endless sea of fire appeared in the starry sky, and a hoarse voice came from within, "All of you, retreat." The war god fortress slowly came to a halt, facing the sea of fire from a distance. The saint sovereign saw a demon appear within the sea of fire, looking like a dried corpse, with no flesh or blood. It emitted a powerful aura, pressing down on the saint sovereigns, making their blood flow sluggish. "That's not the demon lord. Where did this demon come from?" Such a strong aura, even stronger than the demon lord. The saint sovereigns exchanged glances, uncertain. The house saint sovereign's eyes flickered, as if he had thought of something. "It said that the demon ancestor altar of the demon race has the power to resurrect demons. If the demon race preserved a supreme level demon corpse and the demon lord controlled it to resurrect." Quote. The saint sovereigns became even more serious, realizing that things had taken an unexpected turn. The demon lord had controlled a supreme level demon. Although it might not fully exhibit supreme level combat power, it was still a supreme. Stronger than the demon lord himself, otherwise, the demon lord wouldn't have gone to such lengths. A supreme level demon, even the weakest among supremes, was still a supreme. The saint sovereigns felt a headache coming on. How could they fight this? Suddenly, a sharp shout rang out, "Little Mist, do it!" Lin Mohan transformed into a long sword and flew out of the war god fortress, charging straight at the demon lord. Little Mist also shouted, and a hazy rule star river appeared above her head. The fortune law rolled, and Little Mist shouted, "I want you to fall." The demon lord's fortune was drastically weakened, and Little Mist's face turned pale. Using the fortune law to alter fortune across realms came with significant backlash. Fortunately, the opponent wasn't a true supreme, otherwise, Little Mist would have suffered even more severe backlash, at least severe injuries. The demon lord felt as if he had lost something, a strange feeling as if his connection with the dried corpse was forcibly weakened, making his movements less agile. He roared in anger, the flames around him surging wildly, trying to expel the discomfort. Lin Mohan slashed through the flames, reaching the demon lord. Her rule world unfolded, and a terrifyingly massive sword appeared in the starry sky. Lin Mohan's rule world was revealed for the first time. The giant sword stretched billions of miles, its tip unseen. The sword emitted an aura of despair, and just a glance made the saint sovereigns' souls ache. What kind of sword is this? Such a terrifying sword. Fairy Han's rule world is this strong. I feel like I can't withstand her sword. Me neither, even with the war god spear, I might not be able to block it. They were horrified, feeling that just a glance at the sword made their rule world seem like they were about to shatter. The sword saint sovereign smiled wryly. According to Mohan, this sword is called the world-destroying sword. The world-destroying sword, a sword that could destroy worlds. Not just a name, it could indeed destroy worlds. At least, a saint sovereign's rule world couldn't withstand a single strike. One sword to destroy the world. Lin Mohan pointed, and the world-destroying sword fell with a roar, laws crumbling, the starry sky shattering. The demon lord sensed the threat and roared, summoning his rule world. Demonic fire erupted from the rule world, and a terrifying demon appeared. The demon spread its massive wings, and a giant flaming fist roared towards the world-destroying sword. The terrifying aura sent the war god fortress flying backward, and the saint sovereigns were horrified. This isn't the demon lord's rule world, it's the rule world of that supreme corpse. Not only was the corpse preserved, but even the rule world was preserved. This is bad. The demon's fist collided with the world-destroying sword, unleashing a tremendous force. A nearby star system collapsed instantly, and the war god fortress was sent flying uncontrollably. The fortress was covered in dense cracks. The power of a supreme was truly terrifying. Lin Mohan was also sent flying by the collision, and the world-destroying sword was knocked away by the demon's punch. All of you must die, you must all die. The demon lord roared, his voice filled with rage, his killing intent boiling in the starry sky. Chapter 2227, 2227. Chapter 2227. Splitting the sea with one sword, splitting the world. Lin Mohan was blasted a million miles away. The demon lord roared continuously, you all must die. The demon from the rule world charged out, heading straight for Lin Mohan. Lin Mohan snorted coldly, stretched out her hand, and grasped the void sword. Come. The world-destroying sword suddenly appeared in Lin Mohan's hand. At this moment, the heavens and earth roared, and it seemed as if countless world-destroying swords appeared in the starry sky. The world-destroying sword fell into her hand, and the starry sky around her collapsed in an instant. The terrifying aftermath spread again, and several star systems within a light-year radius collapsed, countless demons dying on the spot. The war god fortress was once again blasted away, like a floating leaf in the sea, completely out of control. For the first time, the saint sovereigns tasted such a feeling, becoming mere spectators, unable to intervene. The sword in the sword saint sovereign's hand hummed continuously, the tip uncontrollably pointing towards Lin Mohan, as if wanting to worship her. At this moment, Lin Mohan became the master of 10,000 swords, and all the sharp swords in the great world had to obey her command. The sword saint sovereign swallowed hard, she has grasped her rule world. The heavenly saint sovereign was also in disbelief. How did she do it? This is impossible. Although the rule world belongs to the saint sovereign and can be freely manipulated, no one had ever heard of anyone being able to grasp the rule world in their hand. Even if the rule world is in the form of a weapon, at most, it can be controlled to attack and kill. It is impossible to hold the rule world in one's hand. After all, it is a world, and holding a world in one's hand is beyond the capabilities of a saint sovereign. But Lin Mohan did it, and her strength surpassed that of a saint sovereign. Previously, she said that when she became a saint sovereign, she could cut down a half-step supreme with her sword. At that time, some people thought she was boasting, but now it seems she was not boasting at all and was even conservative. The war saint sovereign said, I take back what I said before. Even with the war god spear, I can't block her sword. The house saint sovereign sighed, her brother is already monstrous enough, and now it seems this sister is no less monstrous. The whole family is monstrous. The saint sovereigns all agreed, reaching a consensus. The world-destroying sword buzzed and lit up, creating spatial ripples, and the demon lord, who had just charged over, was blasted away. The originally somewhat illusory world-destroying sword began to become real in Lin Mohan's hand. Lin Mohan shouted in a low voice, Heaven and Earth sword, come out. With a sword cry, the Heaven and Earth sword flew out from behind Lin Mohan and merged with the world-destroying sword. The world-destroying sword completely solidified, turning into a real treasure sword capable of destroying worlds. One sword to destroy the world. Lin Mohan swung her sword again, and a large area of the starry sky collapsed. Terrifying energy swept out, causing distant star systems to explode. This sword affected hundreds of light years, dozens of star systems, and countless demons, all annihilated by this sword. If there were a world where the sword pointed, it would also be split apart. The demon lord roared continuously, trying to dodge, but suddenly found the demon corpse becoming difficult to control. What's happening? What's going on? The demon lord didn't know that Xiao Wu had weakened his fortune, and he began to experience bad luck. The sword light approached, and it was impossible to dodge. The demon lord could only take it head-on. with a punch engulfed in demon fire, he collided with the world-destroying sword. With a scream, the demon lord was blasted away, and countless cracks appeared in his rule world. This sword severely damaged his rule world. Lin Mohan snorted coldly, transformed into a long sword, and chased after him, holding the sword with both hands and slashing down. One sword to split the sea. Suddenly, the sound of waves echoed in the starry sky, as if an ocean appeared, enveloping the demon star region. The sword momentum fell, splitting the ocean in two, along with all the living beings within it. In the distance, Lin Moyu trembled slightly, the aura of the world sea. Lin Mohan's sword didn't split an ordinary sea but the world sea. One sword to split the sea was stronger than one sword to destroy the world. The demon lord roared madly, and the dried corpse suddenly swelled up, flames bursting from its body and merging into the rule world. At this moment, the demon lord's rule world and the dried corpse's rule world merged into one, reaching their peak power. Suddenly, the demon lord let out a miserable scream, and the originally well-merged rule world suddenly split apart. He experienced bad luck again at a critical moment, which could be fatal. Xiao Wu's eyes curved into crescents. I told you, you're going to have bad luck. The sword momentum approached, and the demon lord encountered a problem at this moment. At the last moment, he controlled the dried corpse to charge out, rushing towards the world-destroying sword. The dried corpse exploded with a bang, and the demon lord retreated quickly, escaping at high speed. The explosion of the dried corpse was like the end of the world, blasting the starry sky into pieces. Laws and rules were annihilated at this moment, and Lin Mohan groaned, being blasted away on the spot. After all, this was the body of a supreme, and its self-destruction was extremely powerful. The world-destroying sword in her hand automatically protected its master, instantly activating and blocking most of the attack for Lin Mohan. The Saint Sovereigns looked at each other, knowing that if it were them, they would have died in this explosion. Lin Mohan's face was pale, blood flowing from the corner of her mouth, clearly injured. But her aura was still stable, and the injury wasn't too severe. However, she had exhausted her strength and had no power left to fight. The demon lord escaped quickly and was not affected by the explosion, revealing his figure billions of miles away. Although the dried corpse was lost, he still maintained his full combat power. Lin Mohan had lost the power to fight. The demon lord roared in anger, "You all must die." He charged again with rage and hatred, his half-step supreme aura fully unleashed, and the demon fire surged behind him. The human Saint Sovereigns simultaneously summoned their treasures, preparing for battle. At this moment, Little Cow's ears twitched, and the containment rune array was spat out from its mouth. A black-clad figure emerged from the containment rune array, exuding the aura of the other shore realm. In his hand, he held a bleeding eyeball, the Eye of Corruption. The resurrected being held the Eye of Corruption towards the demon lord. His aura quickly withered, and all his power was poured into the Eye of Corruption, including his life. The Eye of Corruption emitted a blood-red light, and an indescribable evil aura appeared in the starry sky. A drop of blood suddenly appeared above the demon lord's head, as large as a star, and accurately fell on the demon lord. The Eye of Corruption and the resurrected being both turned to dust, completely dissipating. The resurrected being sacrificed himself, and the Eye of Corruption was also a one-time item, turning to dust after use. A scream echoed, and the demon lord was surrounded by blood, his power rapidly dissolving, his body and soul turning into blood. The rule world collapsed quickly, and everyone knew that the demon lord was finished. The House Saint Sovereign sighed at this scene. The Eye of Corruption was originally intended by the Black Blood Great Realm to deal with the Star Elder. Unexpectedly, it was used against the demon lord. The Heavenly Saint Sovereign said, "The demon lord is actually the spirit of the demon ancestor altar." Back then, Xiao Zontian fought his way into the demon race and severely injured the then demon patriarch. The demon patriarch, before dying, threw his soul into the demon ancestor altar, giving birth to the demon lord. The demon lord has had a long life, and it was he who has been guarding the demon race all these years. The House Saint Sovereign said, "Now that the demon lord is dead, the demon race is truly finished." The Rune Saint Sovereign looked relieved. Fortunately, Lin Shi planned meticulously, even preparing the Eye of Corruption. The Sword Saint Sovereign said, "Lin Xiaoyu's calculations were accurate, but without Mohan's extraordinary combat power, this plan wouldn't have succeeded." The War Saint Sovereign laughed heartily. "Indeed, Fairy Han's combat power is truly extraordinary, the best in the human race." A Saint Sovereign challenging a Supreme alone was unprecedented, setting a historical precedent. The Kill Saint Sovereign relaxed completely, smiling as he put away his 7 swords. All right, our task is complete. Now we just need to watch Lin Xiaoyu's performance. According to the plan, the rest would be handled by Lin Moyu alone, and they didn't need to worry. They could even return home now and let Lin Moyu handle the rest. Chapter 2228, 2228. Chapter 2228. Advancement, Neutron Star Level Technique. The Demon Lord is dead, the Saint Sovereigns have fled to the outer domain, and the fate of the demon race is sealed. The Bone Hell swept through one star system after another, exterminating the demons, and the star systems were packed up and taken away. Lin Moyu moved skillfully, his actions becoming increasingly swift. In just 2 months, 1/3 of the star systems had disappeared, and the number of dead demons was beyond count. The Bone Hell was finally full, reaching the limit of the God Veneration realm. A mass of mist with a diameter of 10 billion kilometers floated in the starry sky, with fierce spirits roaring inside and the hellfire continuously boiling. Finally, it's time for advancement. The Bone Hell was finally advancing, beginning its sublimation. In the Soul World, the white star representing the Bone Hell technique began to shine brightly, becoming increasingly luminous, quickly surpassing the other technique stars. At this moment, it became the brightest star, the most dazzling among all the technique stars. Infinite Fusion seemed displeased, buzzing with light as if issuing a warning. The brilliance of the Bone Hell immediately dimmed by 3 parts, not daring to compete with it. Lin Moyu watched this and couldn't help but laugh. This guy is really obedient. The World Tree sent a massive amount of soul power, providing support for the Bone Hell's advancement. This advancement was different from the past. It was a leap across a major realm, a transformation for the Bone Hell. What it would ultimately become, Lin Moyu was unsure. The fierce spirits in the Bone Hell roared more intensely, jumping into the river of hellfire, bathing in the flames. The flames turned into armor, transforming the fierce spirits into terrifying warriors. Deep within the Bone Hell, the portal to the real hell reappeared. The gate of hell opened a crack, and the power of hell continuously surged out, pouring into the Bone Hell. Creak! A soul-piercing friction sound echoed as the crack in the portal widened, and the surging power increased dramatically. The roars of the fierce spirits grew even more intense. Thousands of light years away, several Saint Sovereigns who were drinking tea and chatting in the War God Fortress simultaneously shivered. The Heavenly Saint Sovereign asked, "What happened? Did you hear something?" The House Saint Sovereign whispered, "I heard it. It sounded like some giant beast roaring, very piercing, straight to the soul." The Sword Saint Sovereign looked towards where Lin Moyu was. "What's happening over there with young friend Lin?" The Kill Saint Sovereign was the calmest. "No need to worry, it's definitely Lin's Bone Hell advancing. That technique, tisk tisk, it's truly terrifying." The other Saint Sovereigns agreed. Lin Moyu's techniques were all quite terrifying. Whether it was Corpse Explosion, the Undead Legion, or the Bone Hell, they were all top-tier killing tools. Such techniques were unheard of before Lin Moyu. The Rune Saint Sovereign glanced at Lin Mohan, who was meditating and adjusting her breath, and Xiao Wu, who was playing with little cow beside her. "Rest assured, Fairy Han and Xiao Wu have no reaction, which means Lin Shi is safe." As the Rune Saint Sovereign said, if something happened to Lin Moyu, the first to react would likely be Lin Mohan and Xiao Wu. The power from the Gate of Hell continued to pour out, merging with the power of the Bone Hell. Lin Moyu keenly sensed that the power from Hell belonged to the power of illusion, while the Bone Hell's power was of the same origin. His heart moved, and the power of the Undying Rule was injected into the Bone Hell. The Undying Rule belonged to the power of reality, and it fused with the power of illusion from Hell. Under the combination of illusion and reality, the Bone Hell made a soft sound, like an egg breaking its shell, breaking through its bottleneck and transforming. At the moment of the Bone Hell's transformation, the technique White Star also absorbed enough soul power and exploded. A pitch-black cave emerged from the explosion's center, drawing Lin Moyu's attention. At the other end of the cave, Lin Moyu once again saw the Great World Runes. This was the domain of the Great World Runes, with complex and exquisite runes floating in the void. 100 runes representing laws evolved from it. The damage to the Great World Runes seems to have worsened a bit. After many years, seeing the Great World Runes again, Lin Moyu found that the damage was more severe than before. He then saw a mist enveloping the Great World Runes, seemingly repairing them. Lin Moyu glanced and confirmed that it was the power of the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign. At that time, the Illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign said he had something to do, and this was it. using the last of his remnant soul's power to delay the collapse of the Great World runes as much as possible. In reality, this had minimal effect, almost meaningless. Perhaps it was just to ease his own guilt. Lin Moyu's gaze swept past the Great World runes, and this time he saw more. On the other side of the Great World runes, coffins floated, forming a cemetery. The coffins contained Supremes who had died in battle and returned here. Within the rule worlds of the Supremes lay the origin power of the Great World. After their deaths, their rule worlds collapsed, and the origin power returned to the heavens and earth, with a large part returning here. At the same time, the Great World runes would guide the Supremes here, forming the Supreme Cemetery. No one knew why the Supreme Cemetery formed. As for Supremes like the 100 Battles Supreme, who died but whose rule world remained intact and whose origin power did not return, they would not be guided by the Great World runes and could not rest here. The worst outcome was for those heavenly sovereigns and Supremes who left the Great World, taking with them the origin power that belonged to the Great World, making it even weaker. Lin Moyu saw the Supreme Cemetery and continued to explore beyond it, seeing dozens of massive tombs. The tombs emitted an astonishing aura, and just a glance made Lin Moyu's mind tremble, his consciousness scattered. His soul opened its eyes, filled with indescribable shock. These are the tombs of the heavenly sovereigns. Beyond the Supreme Cemetery were the tombs of the heavenly sovereigns. He murmured to himself, indeed, Supremes return, and so do the heavenly sovereigns after death. The Great World has existed for countless years, and the lifespan of a heavenly sovereign in the Great World is only 500,000 years. Over so many years, many heavenly sovereigns must have died of old age. The origin power of the heavenly sovereigns is even greater, and the Great World gives them better treatment, building tombs for them. Lin Moyu seemed to understand something, gaining some insights, but it felt like nothing much. Scattered fragments might one day come together, eventually forming a complete understanding. Lin Moyu was in no hurry and instead focused on the technique stars. The white star of the bone hell technique had disappeared, replaced by a gray star. The gray technique star's light was not strong, completely different from its previous brilliance. But Lin Moyu knew it had become extremely powerful, distorting the surrounding soul space, giving the illusion of being twisted just by looking at it. Neutron star. Lin Moyu softly uttered 3 words, feeling that this was very similar to the neutron battle star in the Finger Ruins. Perhaps because it was a technique star, it was gentler than the neutron battle star, but the essence was the same. Lin Moyu could feel its weight, far exceeding other technique stars. His soul communicated with the technique star and obtained specific information. Bone hell neutron star level transforms a designated area into bone hell, connected to the real hell. All enemies within will be attacked by the power of hell. Terrifying fierce spirits from the real hell will be born in the bone hell, and all who die within will have their true spirits absorbed by the fierce spirits. The more power absorbed, the stronger the fierce spirits become, and their numbers will increase accordingly. As long as the real hell is not destroyed, the bone hell will never be destroyed. Even if shattered, it will recover after a certain time. As the master of the bone hell, you will always be protected by hell. The bone hell will mark all attackers, and once marked, they cannot escape your soul lock. Chapter 2229, 2229. Chapter 2229. Golden Dragon coiling around the body, bloodline suppression. The promotion of a technique from the white star level to the neutron star level is of great significance. It pointed out the path for Lin Moyu. The path of technique promotion is from planet, star, white star, neutron star, all the way to black hole. Lin Moyu wanted to use the Great World as a model to construct his own rule world, so he naturally needed to fully understand the promotion system within the Great World. What was previously just speculation was now completely confirmed. Lin Moyu already had a clear idea for his rule world. His consciousness detached from the soul world. After the promotion of the technique, he still needed to see the real changes. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in the bone hell. Is it this big? Lin Moyu was truly shocked. After the promotion, the bone hell had become much larger, expanding from 100 billion kilometers to 1 trillion kilometers. 1 trillion kilometers is equivalent to 0.1 light years. A single technique that can cover 0.1 light years has already surpassed the limits of a saint sovereign. At least among the saint sovereigns Lin Moyu knew, none had a technique that could cover 0.1 light years. The battles between saint sovereigns indeed have a wide impact, but it's only tens to hundreds of billions of kilometers. However, the range covered by the bone hell reached an astonishing 1 trillion kilometers, which is terrifying. 1 trillion kilometers can simultaneously cover several star systems, greatly increasing efficiency. Roars came from the bone hell, and a river of hellfire, as vast as an ocean, ran through the bone hell, rippling in the starry sky like a long river of stars. Its momentum was no weaker than that of the Rule Star River. On both sides of the river, the blooming flowers of the other shore were even more vibrant, exuding death within their enchantment. Countless fierce spirits floated in the river of hellfire, bathing in the flames. More fierce spirits were distributed everywhere, also bathing in the firelight from above. In the sky above the bone hell, 10 clusters of flames appeared, like 10 stars, burning fiercely and scattering boundless firelight. The number of fierce spirits in the bone hell also increased dramatically, from 1 billion to 10 billion. 10 billion fierce spirits at the other shore realm were enough to make a half-step supreme despair. After reviewing everything, Lin Moyu glanced into the distance. Go, eat to your heart's content. The bone hell flew out at an astonishing speed, directly traversing space and enveloping a star system. In just 1 minute, it left the star system, having devoured all the demons within, leaving nothing behind. Following Lin Moyu's orders, the bone hell roamed the demon star region, turning one star system after another into uninhabited areas. The vitality in the star region was rapidly decreasing, and the number of demons was sharply declining. As the news spread, the demons began to flee. They encountered the undead legion guarding outside and were slaughtered by the skeleton god generals. Even the demons at the other shore realm couldn't withstand the siege of the skeleton god generals. Facing Lin Moyu, they had no chance to escape. The existence of the demon race entered a countdown. Lin Moyu leisurely followed behind the bone hell, using containment rune arrays to pack up all the planetary resources. In the distance, the Saint Sovereigns looked at each other. At some point, they had come over out of curiosity and saw the bone hell. The heavenly Saint Sovereign exclaimed, I feel that Lin Xiaoyu can single-handedly challenge all of us. The House Saint Sovereign laughed, indeed, even you and I, if enveloped by Lin Xiaoyu's technique, might not be able to escape. The heavenly Saint Sovereign nodded, even the Demon Lord would find it hard to escape. The Rune Saint Sovereign said, someone once said that when Lin Shi reaches the other shore realm, it will be a nightmare for all races. Now it seems that this statement is not wrong. The War Saint Sovereign said, next, we have to deal with the Golden Eagle clan. Perhaps we only need to watch the show. The Kill Saint Sovereign sneered, didn't you watch the show this time? Did you make a move? Thinking about it, they hadn't made a move this time either, they were just watching the show. The Demon Lord was defeated by Lin Mohan, and the demon race was exterminated by Lin Moyu. The siblings directly wiped out a powerful race. If Lin Moyu had reached the other shore realm earlier, there might not have been a need for the 100 races war. Lin Moyu alone could have dealt with the 100 races. 4 months later, the Demon Star region was almost empty. Over 10,000 star systems were taken away by Lin Moyu using over 10,000 containment rune arrays. These planets were all resources. After returning to the human star region for transformation, it wouldn't take long for them to become human planets. By then, the human race would have more resources, stronger fortune, and could cultivate more talents. Now, only the core area of the demon race remained. This area was shrouded in demonic fire, like a fireball, burning for countless years without extinguishing. Lin Moyu and Lin Mohan stood side by side. At this moment, Lin Mohan had finished adjusting her breath and returned to her peak state. Lin Moyu said, the origin power is inside. Lin Mohan nodded, I want this origin power. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, as long as sister likes it. Do you want me to do it for you? Lin Mohan shook her head, no need, I'll get it myself. Lin Moyu could clearly sense that within the demon ancestral land, there was a massive origin power. Initially, this origin power appeared on the Abyssal Dragon Demon. At that time, the Abyssal Demon Lord had lent the origin power to the Abyssal Dragon Demon. At first, it was thought that the Abyssal Demon Lord was the owner of the origin power, but later it was discovered that the Abyssal Demon Lord had also borrowed the power from the Demon Lord. He was just a middleman. Now that the Demon Lord was dead, the origin power returned to the demon ancestral land at the moment of his death. Lin Moyu finally saw clearly that even the Demon Lord was just a middleman. Lin Mohan rushed towards the demon ancestral land, and a dragon's roar sounded from Lin Moyu's body as the fortune explosion technique activated. Lin Moyu checked his sister's luck. He wanted to boost Lin Mohan's luck to the extreme. With good luck, everything would go smoothly. Then Lin Moyu saw a golden light and countless golden dragons. Golden dragons coiled around Lin Mohan's body, without any numerical value, just golden dragons. Wow, sister's luck is this strong. He needed to use the fortune explosion technique to turn his luck into dragons. But Lin Mohan didn't need to do anything, she was already surrounded by golden dragons, reaching the pinnacle of luck. In this state, Lin Mohan could turn misfortune into fortune, and everything she did would go smoothly. Her obtaining the origin power was almost a certainty. Anyone who opposed her would be suppressed by her luck and become unlucky. Looking at Lin Mohan's golden dragons and then at his own faint luck dragon, Lin Moyu smiled bitterly. Sister is indeed sister, truly a bloodline suppression. Saying this, he followed Lin Mohan's steps and entered the demon ancestral land. The power of rules wrapped around him, forcibly parting the flames as he charged in. Lin Mohan disappeared into the sea of fire, searching for the origin power. Lin Moyu advanced through the flames towards the demon ancestor altar. The demonic flames transformed into countless illusory demons, but they were blocked by a faint mist, unable to stop him. Lin Moyu walked leisurely as if returning home. The demon ancestral land was filled with demonic fire. This was the birthplace of the demon race, and the demonic fire was the fundamental power of the demon race. Without the demonic fire, the foundation of the demon race would be severed, and the saint sovereigns who escaped wouldn't last long. Looking at the demon ancestral land, Lin Moyu knew he understood the interplay of illusion and reality, so he could see everything clearly. The demon lord couldn't see the changes between illusion and reality, so he couldn't understand. If he truly wanted to preserve the foundation of the demon race, he should have sent the demon ancestral land away, not the saint sovereigns. What he did now was destined to be futile. The demon race was finished. Lin Moyu stepped onto the demon ancestor altar, which erupted with flames, unwelcoming to Lin Moyu. A mere dead object dares to resist. Lin Moyu stomped his foot, and with a roar, the demon ancestor altar shook, cracking with countless fissures. A peculiar aura rushed out from the cracks, and Lin Moyu frowned. This is Chapter 2230, 2230. Chapter 2230, how is this related to the Celestial Spirit Clan? The demon ancestral land, known as the birthplace of the demon race, holds many secrets. In the demon race's most prosperous times, only supremes were qualified to come here. At that time, the demon race had produced a heavenly sovereign. Although that heavenly sovereign didn't live long, it was still a source of pride for the demon race. After the ancient war, the demon race also declined. Without supremes, half-step supremes became their limit. Now, the demon race is on the brink of extinction. But one must admit, the demon race still has some foundation. The demon ancestor altar was cracked by Lin Moyu's stomp, which surprised him. After all, this was the demon ancestor altar. How could it crack so easily? It wasn't until he saw the scene beneath the crack that he understood why. With another heavy stomp, the demon ancestor altar collapsed, revealing what lay beneath. Under the demon ancestor altar, there was a palace. The palace didn't look large, but Lin Moyu could feel the power of space, indicating that the palace existed in another dimension and was much larger than it appeared. The palace was burning fiercely, continuously absorbing and releasing flames from the ancestral land. The demon ancestor altar was just a facade, the palace was the core. Lin Moyu looked at the palace and sensed an unusual aura from it. The aura felt familiar, as if he had encountered it before. With a step forward, the scene before him twisted, and he entered the dimension where the palace was located. Is this the demon ancestor palace? Lin Moyu looked at the three large characters above the palace entrance, written in the demon race's language, which he had studied before and could recognize. The palace was named the Demon Ancestor Palace, indicating that it belonged to the demon ancestor. The palace exuded an ancient aura, having existed for countless years. Lin Moyu was cautious and didn't enter directly but observed the palace from the outside. The demon ancestor was likely the heavenly sovereign of the demon race. If this was indeed the palace of a heavenly sovereign, it was wise to be cautious. A skeleton god general appeared and ran into the palace. As soon as the skeleton god general entered the demon ancestor palace, countless demon flames erupted from within. The skeleton god general was blasted back, engulfed in flames, with half of its body already burned. The Legion ruler appeared to heal the skeleton god general and quickly extinguished the flames. The demon ancestor palace seemed to be activated, continuously rumbling and spewing flames. The independent space shattered, and the demon ancestor palace appeared in the ancestral land. It was engulfed in flames, covering itself. A demon's shadow appeared above the palace, roaring at Lin Moyu, "The demon ancestor palace is not for you to enter. Leave." Lin Moyu sneered, bluffing. The demon race has been exterminated, and even a mere palace spirit dares to shout. The bone hell emerged, instantly enveloping the demon ancestor palace. Countless fierce spirits from hell charged at the demon's shadow, tearing it apart in no time. The bone hell isolated the demon ancestor palace from the outside world, cutting off its supply of demon flames. Without the demon flames, the palace lost its power source. Lin Moyu saw through it. The demon ancestor palace itself wasn't very strong, its power came entirely from the demon flames. As long as the demon flames were cut off, it was nothing. The fierce spirits of hell devour everything, and even the palace spirit couldn't escape. The bone hell completely surrounded the demon ancestor palace, extinguishing its flames, and Lin Moyu finally felt safe to enter. The demon ancestor palace was spacious, with a layout different from human palaces. In the center of the palace stood a statue, a six-winged demon. A statue in the demon ancestor palace naturally represented the demon ancestor. Besides the statue, there was nothing else in the palace. The palace itself was a supreme-level artifact, but after countless years of erosion, it had become extremely weak, only a shell of its former self. Lin Moyu examined the demon ancestor statue. The demon race produced a heavenly sovereign, but unfortunately, this heavenly sovereign lived too short a life to properly refine and transform the demon ancestor palace. If it had been transformed into a heavenly sovereign-level artifact, the demon ancestor palace could have become a powerful weapon. This statue is quite good, but it's a pity. Lin Moyu punched the statue, causing it to crack. After several punches, the statue exploded. From the shattered statue, several crystals fell out. The crystals emitted a misty glow, looking crystal clear and exuding an overwhelming aura. These are indeed celestial spirit crystals, and of quite high quality. Lin Moyu carefully sensed the crystals, feeling that they were extraordinary, at least at the supreme level, possibly even higher. Why are there celestial spirit crystals inside the demon ancestor statue? What is the connection between the demon ancestor and the celestial spirit clan? The celestial spirit clan was a race created by a human heavenly sovereign, with no connection to the demon race. But now, why is this happening? Lin Moyu put away the celestial spirit crystals, planning to find an opportunity to ask Lillian about it. He didn't know where Lillian was now, probably hiding somewhere to cultivate, unaware of what was happening outside. As long as the celestial spirit clan had enough celestial spirit crystals, their cultivation speed was quite fast. Who knows what realm she had reached? After wandering around the hall and ensuring there was nothing else of interest, Lin Moyu proceeded to the inner part of the palace. The demon ancestor palace was very simple, with no separate rooms, just an inner and outer layer. The outer layer was the main hall, and the inner layer was clearly where the demon ancestor resided. There was a large stone slab in the inner layer, with flames still burning on it, who knows for how many years. The stone slab was made of special material and had clearly been refined. It had a barrier drawn on it. The stone slab could be considered a supreme-level artifact. But after so many years, the stone slab couldn't withstand the erosion of time, and the barrier was already damaged. If I'm not mistaken, this stone slab was the demon ancestor's bed. Lin Moyu examined the stone slab and then punched it. After a few punches, the stone slab cracked, revealing a pit underneath. A strong aura emanated from the pit, and inside were a large number of celestial spirit crystals. The quality of these celestial spirit crystals was as high as those inside the demon ancestor statue. Lin Moyu collected all the celestial spirit crystals and then noticed something else. It was a palm-sized statue, depicting a human. Lin Moyu had seen similar statues before and had destroyed a few to help Lillian pass her trials. These small statues contained the inheritance of the celestial spirit clan. Inheritance of the celestial spirit clan. What is the connection between the demon ancestor and the celestial spirit clan? Things seem to be getting more mysterious. How could the demon ancestor be related to the celestial spirit clan? Lin Moyu pondered. In ancient times, there were many powerful races comparable to the demon race. But only the demon race produced a heavenly sovereign. It didn't seem strange before, but now it seemed puzzling. Logically, the world belonging to the demon race should have been devoured by the great world. Without the support of the world's origin, it shouldn't have been possible to produce a heavenly sovereign. The appearance of a heavenly sovereign in the demon race was unusual and likely related to the celestial spirit clan. After putting away the inheritance statue, Lin Moyu left the demon ancestor palace. The fierce spirits of hell swarmed in, devouring the palace completely, leaving not even a speck of dust. The flames in the demon ancestral land continued to burn. Lin Moyu sensed the direction of the origin power and walked towards it. After a while, he saw Lin Mohan. Lin Mohan was sitting cross-legged in the void, with the world-destroying sword floating behind her, its grey blade glowing with purple light. She had found the origin power and was absorbing it. The heaven and earth sword circled around Lin Mohan, protecting her. Lin Moyu didn't disturb her and waited quietly. Chapter 2231, 2231. Chapter 2231. The third path to ascending to supreme. The sword of destruction glowed with purple light, and Lin Moyu felt that this source power was somewhat different from his own source magic. It was more similar to the source spark given by the mysterious master. The source magic came from the small world, obtained after many trials. After entering the big world, the source magic provided great help. It could be said that without source magic, it would have been difficult to reach where he was today. The source spark only fused with one of the spells, though it was also very strong, but overall not as good as source magic. The source power Lin Moxuan was now absorbing was similar to the source spark, able to enhance a certain combat ability but unable to become an independent spell. This source power was similar to the colorful water in Lin Moyu's eyes. Except the colorful water would be depleted, while the source power would not be exhausted and could be used repeatedly. The sword of destruction absorbed the source power, growing stronger and stronger. Lin Moxuan's aura was also constantly strengthening along with it. The rule world is the core of a saint lord, no less important than the soul. If the soul dies, the body dies. If the rule world is destroyed, the body also dies. Similarly, strengthening the rule world can also enhance one's realm. The source power enhanced the sword of destruction, while also elevating Lin Moxuan's realm. Lin Moxuan was originally already a saint lord, and now she was advancing towards half-step supreme. No wonder Big Sis wanted this source power, it turns out she wanted to use it to advance to half-step supreme. If this source power was given to himself, at most it would be like resurrection of the dead, enhancing one spell. But given to Lin Moxuan, it could directly enhance the rule world, even elevating her realm. Lin Moxuan had a golden dragon coiled around her body, with incredible luck. Whatever she wanted to do, most things could come true as she wished. Lin Moyu knew his sister would certainly succeed. The human race would soon have a half-step supreme. Especially this half-step supreme, with overwhelming combat power, likely able to fight against true supremes. Outside the demon ancestral land, the war god fortress hung silently in space. They were waiting for Lin Moyu and Lin Moxuan. Suddenly, a vast aura burst out from the demon ancestral land, and a low rumbling sound seemed to echo through space. At the same time, the shadow of a giant sword appeared in space, the projection of the sword of destruction emerging. Clatter clatter, the teacups in their hands fell one after another. Several saint lords stood up simultaneously, looking at the demon ancestral land in disbelief. It's a half-step supreme. Fairy Zan is about to advance to half-step supreme. Good, good, good. Fairy Zan advancing to half-step supreme means our human race has gained another top combat power. You're wrong, Fairy Zan will become our human race's most supreme combat power. Right, I misspoke. The several saint lords were so excited they could barely speak coherently. When Lin Moxuan was a saint lord she could already contend with supremes. Now that she had reached half-step supreme, she could probably fight against true supremes. This level of combat power had already surpassed Old Star and the Human Emperor. In this era, it could be called invincible. The aura of a half-step supreme spread out from deep space, permeating far away. In the human race's lost star sea, the Human Emperor revealed his form. Someone has advanced to half-step supreme. Old Star slightly raised his eyes. Do you know who it is? The Human Emperor said, if my sensing is correct, it should be Lin Moxuan. Old Star didn't have much reaction. A thoughtful look flashed in his eyes, and after a moment Old Star finally spoke, the domain is about to be pacified. Next we need to prepare to welcome the battle realm. It's time to tell them about those matters. The Human Emperor said, it is time to speak. Although the divine path is difficult to cultivate, at least there is still hope. Old Star chuckled, the battle realm is dangerous, but how is it not also hope? Perhaps our opportunity also lies here. The sword of destruction rang out continuously in space, its terrifying sword intent tearing apart space, ripping huge holes in the starry sky. Countless sword energies spread recklessly, each sword energy enough to destroy stars. The war god fortress had to retreat billions of miles to avoid being accidentally injured. The entire process lasted for several months before the Sword of Destruction finally disappeared and space finally calmed down. In the demon ancestral land, a purple line appeared on Lin Moxuan's Sword of Destruction. The purple line ran from the hilt through the blade, adding a touch of nobility to the Sword of Destruction. With the enhancement of the source power, the power of the Sword of Destruction increased at least several times over. Having successfully advanced to half-step supreme, Lin Moxuan's combat power far surpassed her previous level. Congratulations, big sis, on advancing to half-step supreme. Lin Moyu very naturally gave a compliment. Lin Moxuan exhaled, half-step supreme is not difficult. What's difficult is supreme, Lin Moyu said, the divine path is broken, unable to cultivate. Supreme is hopeless, Lin Moxuan said, after I advanced to half-step supreme, my inherited bloodline awakened a bit more. Actually, to advance to supreme, besides the divine path there are other paths, just very difficult. Lin Moyu said, that mysterious master I encountered before told me that there are indeed other paths to advance to supreme. I remember, I seem to have told Big Sis about it. There really is more than one path to advance to supreme. Besides the divine path, there is another path, but that path, Lin Moyu would not take. It was a path of no return. Using that method to advance to supreme would mean completely bidding farewell to the big world. That was not the path Lin Moyu wanted to take. Lin Moxuan shook her head, no, I'm talking about a third path. Lin Moyu was startled and blurted out, a third path. Lin Moxuan nodded solemnly, advancing to supreme through this path would not mean leaving the big world. One would still be a supreme within the big world. It's just that this path is very difficult. Saying this, she glanced at Lin Moyu, this path is only suitable for me. You can't walk it, Lin Moyu asked, is it dangerous? Lin Moxuan said, I already said it's very difficult, how could it not be dangerous? But what of danger? Has your big sis ever been afraid? Lin Moyu laughed wryly. With his sister's personality, she really wasn't afraid of danger. Lin Moxuan was very special. Besides being his sister, she might also be the reincarnation of an ancient powerful being. Even if not a reincarnation, she at least had the inheritance of an ancient powerful being. So Lin Moxuan's path was different from others, and also different from his own. Let's go, it's time to leave. Lin Moxuan casually waved her hand, sending out a sword light. The sky was torn open with a huge rift, directly opening up the demon ancestral land. After becoming a half-step supreme, Lin Moxuan's combat power had increased by an unknown amount. A place like the demon ancestral land simply couldn't stop her. Lin Moyu smiled and said, Big sis go first, I'll refine this world. Be quick about it. Very soon. Lin Moxuan turned into a sword light and left. Lin Moyu's hand leapt out with the world-burning fire. The world-burning fire exploded, instantly engulfing the demon ancestral land. The demon ancestral land was also a small world, containing the essence of the demon race. It could be completely refined by the world-burning fire. The demon ancestral land boiled completely, flames soaring to form one ferocious demon after another. The demon race essence was making its final resistance. Lin Moyu's gaze was cold, futile struggle, it's useless. The demon ancestral land simply couldn't withstand the refinement of the world-burning fire. Those illusory demons were instantly shattered. The demon ancestral land was rapidly shrinking, and the flames inside also began to extinguish. After just 3 days, the demon ancestral land was completely erased from space. Lin Moyu appeared in space, eyes tightly closed, sitting in the void. An aura of enlightenment permeated space. Chapter 2232, 2232. Chapter 2232. No problem, I'm an experienced player, Hell Demon Lord, Lava Demon Lord, and Soul Eating Demon Lord. The 3 remaining Saint Lords of the demon race were each leading their teams flying in outer space. They had long since separated, heading in different directions. They had no purpose, not knowing where they could find a new home. Every demon in the team was prepared for endless wandering. Suddenly, the 3 Saint Lords stopped simultaneously, their bodies trembling, eyes filled with fear and anger, and deep despair. The Demon Lord is dead, the demon ancestral land is gone. ... Our race is finished, we have no hope. Pessimism filled every demon. With the ancestral land gone, they had truly become homeless wretches. The ancestral land is extremely important to a race. Races whose ancestral land was destroyed by Xiao Zontian, even if they survived by luck, could hardly recover. And those races whose ancestral land survived, no matter how severely injured, could slowly recover their vitality. The ancestral land represents the luck and origin of a race. Now that the demon race's ancestral land is gone, these surviving demons have also lost hope. With endless despair, they set off again, flying towards the deep space of the outer realm. Lin Moyu emitted an aura of enlightenment. At the moment the ancestral land was refined into a world crystal, the rewards of the great world suddenly descended, and Lin Moyu entered a state of enlightenment. In the state of enlightenment, the power of laws was sublimated into the power of rules. Lin Moyu carefully felt the difference between laws and rules. As the power of rules grew stronger, this difference became more and more apparent. Laws and rules are not just different in strength, but also fundamentally different. Laws are about doing things with the tools provided by the great world. Rules, however, are defined by oneself. The power of rules has its own imprint, and all power is under one's control. Within one's own rules, all other laws are erased, and only one's own rules can exist. Moreover, the power of rules can be used to do things that defy common sense. For example, the time rule can make time flow backward within a certain range, making dead flowers bloom again, but only for a limited time. When the power of rules dissipates, everything returns to its original state. The space rule can forcibly merge two planets, not by collision, but by making space overlap. Under the power of rules, all kinds of magical things can happen. This aspect of power is not obvious when first entering the other shore realm, but it becomes prominent when reaching the Saint Lord level and having one's own rule world. In the rule world of a Saint Lord, the rules are entirely set by the Saint Lord. The Saint Lord's power is magnified, while external power is greatly weakened. In short, rules are magical. From the other shore realm to the heavenly sovereign, one needs to continuously enhance the power of rules. Learn it, master it, and play with it. The demon race is a strong race, powerful, and deeply connected with the great world. This time, eliminating them made the great world much easier, and Lin Moyu, being the main contributor, received the most rewards. The enlightenment lasted for 20 days before ending, with a large amount of law power being sublimated into the power of rules. Lin Moyu mastered 4 laws, requiring several times more time than other cultivators. Now, nearly half of Lin Moyu's law power has been sublimated, saving him hundreds of years of time through several enlightenments. Just as Lin Moyu finished his enlightenment, Lin Moxuan's cold voice came to his ears. "Didn't you say it would be quick?" Lin Moyu smiled slightly. There was an unexpected situation. He didn't expect the great world to suddenly reward him, thinking that the reward would come after he killed all the demons. After all, there were still 3 Saint Lords and hundreds of thousands of demons fleeing outside, not yet dead. Unexpectedly, as soon as the ancestral land was destroyed, the reward arrived. Lin Moxuan said, "Is it done now?" "One more thing, right away." As he spoke, flames ignited on Lin Moyu's body, and his expression twisted in extreme pain. The soul being burned by the world-burning fire, how could it not be painful? Fortunately, it didn't last long. The world-burning fire burned for 2 seconds and then cleared the poison. The world tree immediately followed up, healing Lin Moyu's soul. Lin Moyu gasped, "Done." Lin Moxuan looked at him, "Be careful when playing with fire in the future." Her tone seemed to blame, but more was concern. She knew what Lin Moyu was doing. The world-burning fire was very dangerous and could burn oneself to death if not careful. Lin Moyu grinned, "No problem, I'm an experienced player. Stop joking around." Lin Moxuan scolded him, no longer paying attention to him. Lin Moyu rarely joked with people, only becoming casual in front of a few individuals. Lin Moxuan was one, and Antares could be considered another. The two returned to the War God Fortress. As soon as they landed, several Saint Lords simultaneously saluted Lin Moxuan. "Greetings, fairies on." In the great world, strength determines status, and the human race is no exception. Now Lin Moxuan is a half-step supreme, her status on par with Old Star and the human emperor. Several Saint Lords calling her Lord would not be an exaggeration. Lin Moxuan said, "No need to be so polite, I don't handle affairs, only killing." The Saint Lords understood Lin Moxuan's character. This young lady indeed didn't handle affairs. Fighting and killing were fine, but she rarely spoke during discussions. For handling affairs, it was more reliable to find Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled, No need to be so polite, seniors. Now that the demon race is destroyed, let's proceed according to plan. The War Saint Lord immediately responded, all right. The War God Fortress turned towards the direction of the Golden Eagle clan. Lin Moyu handed over 10,000 containment talismans to the Talisman Saint Lord, containing 10,000 star systems. Lin Moyu naturally didn't bother with such matters, only acting as a hands-off manager. The demon race's star domain became silent and dark, with all stars disappearing. The once bustling star domain turned into a dark void. The once powerful demon race was now wiped out. The wheel of time mercilessly rolled over. Once, the human race was almost crushed, but fortunately, they survived and pushed the wheel away. The demon race perished silently, and even when the War God Fortress arrived at the Golden Eagle clan's doorstep, the Golden Eagle clan had received no news. The Golden Eagle clan, like the demon race, closed their doors and tightened their defenses. Countless giant golden eagles hovered and flew in the star domain. This was the Golden Eagle clan's formation, evolving into golden eagles to protect the race. When the War God Fortress approached, the golden eagles immediately discovered it and continuously screamed to warn. The War God Fortress ignored it, continuing to charge towards the Golden Eagle clan. When the distance was still 10 million kilometers, the golden eagles charged like lightning, golden light filling the starry sky, launching a fierce attack on the War God Fortress. The War God Fortress glowed with a hum, smashing the golden eagles like tofu, then crashing into the Golden Eagle clan's star domain. The War God Fortress rampaged all the way, heading towards the core area of the Golden Eagle clan. The formations along the way couldn't stop it at all. Lin Moyu left the War God Fortress first, space gates appearing continuously, and the undead army appeared in the starry sky. Lin Moyu quickly deployed the undead army along the Golden Eagle clan's star domain, surrounding it. The method was the same as when dealing with the demon race. The method didn't need to be new, as long as it worked. The bone hell emerged, covering a large area of the star domain, directly swallowing 2 nearby star systems. The disaster belonging to the Golden Eagle clan had arrived. Chapter 2233, 2233. Chapter 2233. A bunch of cowardly Saint Lords. The Golden Eagle clan suffered an even worse fate than the demon race. In that great battle, none of their 4 Saint Lords survived. The Hawk Emperor's avatar led a large number of Golden Eagle clansmen to the Outer Realm, where they suffered heavy casualties in another battle at the border region. The Golden Eagle clan was now utterly depleted, with all their other Shore Realm experts gone and very few Divine Lord Realm experts remaining. The War God Fortress entered unopposed, with no one able to stop it. In just over 10 days, the War God Fortress had already reached the heartland of the Golden Eagle clan. In the core area of the Golden Eagle clan, a purple gold eagle could be seen. The purple gold eagle was the ancestral land of the Golden Eagle clan, as well as the totem of the Golden Eagle clansmen. The War God Fortress headed straight for the purple gold eagle. The Sky Saint Lord said, "The Hawk Emperor should come out now, right? It's about time." The Hawk Emperor is also likely a half-step supreme. He won't just watch his race be annihilated. After all, they are one of the strong races. The demon race had hidden strength, and they must have some too. We need to be careful. Even if they have some hidden strength, I'm afraid it won't help much, unless they can produce a true supreme. How could the Golden Eagle clan possibly have a supreme? If they really had a supreme, the human race would have been wiped out long ago. After fighting each other for so many years, everyone knew what cards the others held. The Demon Lord being able to control a Supreme Realm corpse was already unexpected. Here in the Golden Eagle clan, there shouldn't be so many surprises, right? As the Saint Lords were talking, they suddenly all changed expression and looked ahead. A terrifying aura spread through space, and an immense pressure bore down on them, making their thoughts chaotic and extremely uncomfortable. A white gold light flew out from the ancestral land of the Golden Eagle clan, and dragon roars echoed through space. It was a dragon, over 100,000 meters long. Most strangely, its head was that of a golden eagle, and it had a pair of huge eagle wings on its body. Though its form was bizarre, its aura was truly that of a supreme. The Sky Saint Lord smiled bitterly. Who was the last to speak just now? Talk about a jinx. Indeed, it was a jinx. They had just said the Golden Eagle clan wouldn't have a supreme, and then a supreme appeared. The Tao Saint Lord said in a low voice, "That's the Hawk Emperor. What did he do to himself to end up like this?" The War Saint Lord added, "It's definitely the Hawk Emperor, no mistake. He turned himself into a supreme, but he looks unstable. The Hawk Emperor opened his mouth and screeched, but what came out was a dragon's roar. His gaze was somewhat cloudy, as if he had lost his rationality. Dragon roars continued to sound as space churned into huge waves, directly forcing the War God Fortress back. Lin Moxuan flew out of the War God Fortress. "You all retreat. I'll go slay him." Little Mist responded, "Master Sister, Little Mist will help you." The Law of Luck rose up as Little Mist cursed the Hawk Emperor, her sweet voice ringing out, "You're going to have bad luck." Lin Moyu also heard the dragon roars and sensed the supreme aura. His mind stirred and he took out the dragon-seeking orb. The distance was too great, so the dragon-seeking orb had no reaction. The wings of the dead fluttered as a spatial gate opened. Lin Moyu instantly traversed tens of millions of light-years to approach the battlefield. The dragon-seeking orb reacted, pointing directly at the Hawk Emperor. The Dragon Pearl is indeed here. The third Dragon Pearl was indeed in the Hawk Emperor's possession. That's why he had searched outside for so long without finding the third Dragon Pearl. At the time, he had guessed that as long as the Dragon Pearl was still within the domain, it was very likely in the Golden Eagle clan. The Hawk Emperor not only obtained the Dragon Pearl, but has now forcibly absorbed and fused with it, turning himself into this strange Dragon-Eagle hybrid monster. With the Dragon Pearl, the Hawk Emperor's aura had indeed reached the Supreme Realm, but his aura was very unstable. He was not a true Supreme. Lin Moxuan had already begun to attack. Lin Moyu showed no concern in his eyes. This kind of opponent was not worth worrying about for his sister. The Sword of Destruction appeared, with a purple line running through the blade, adding a touch of nobility to the Sword of Destruction. Powerful sword intent surged through space, tearing apart the void. Lin Moxuan gripped the Sword of Destruction in her right hand, once again grasping her rule world. At this moment, she merged with her rule world, becoming stronger as her battle power rose sharply. The Heaven and Earth Sword also flew out, merging into the Sword of Destruction, further amplifying its power. Space trembled and swayed, as if unable to withstand the power of the Sword of Destruction, constantly collapsing. Star systems within 1 light-year suddenly shattered at this moment. Even before officially striking with the sword, star systems were already unable to withstand it. The War God Fortress glowed all over as all its formations activated at full power, barely managing to defend against it. "Retreat quickly," the Sky Saint Lord called out urgently. The War Saint Lord immediately controlled the War God Fortress to retreat. Only then did they understand that when Lin Moxuan told them to retreat, she wasn't joking. The Tao Saint Lord said, "So powerful. What a pity about those star systems." The Kill Saint Lord joked, "Then why don't you ask Fairyzon to go easy?" The Tao Saint Lord gave him a look, "Do I look like an idiot?" The Kill Saint Lord snorted, "Coward. Then why don't you go?" "Hell no. Please vote." The Sword Saint Lord calmly said, "A pair of cowards." The Hawk Emperor sensed Lin Moxuan's terrifying power, but his eyes were clouded, as if he had lost his rationality. Fusing with the Dragon Pearl did not come without a price. While gaining immense power, he also lost something. But if he didn't do this, he would have had no chance at all. Now, at least he could fight for a chance. The Hawk Emperor spewed out dragon breath that turned into golden mist rushing towards Lin Moxuan. At the same time, the scales on his body exploded, transforming into starry arrows raining down like raindrops. Lin Moxuan had built up to the extreme, and suddenly swung her sword. One sword to part the sea. A giant sword without borders appeared in space, simultaneously evolving into a vast sea. Lin Moxuan transformed into a supreme swordsman, slashing down with one sword to split open the sea. The worlds floating in the sea were all destroyed by this one sword strike. This sword was extremely terrifying, shockingly powerful. The Saint Lords who had already retreated tens of millions of miles all spat blood at the same time, looking at each other in shock and terror. Even separated by tens of millions of miles, they still couldn't withstand the aftershocks, their souls simultaneously shaken. If they had faced this sword strike head-on, they probably wouldn't even have any remains left. Lin Moxuan's strength had reached such a level that her true battle power far surpassed a half-step supreme. All of the Hawk Emperor's attacks were like child's play under this one sword, completely destroyed. Space collapsed as laws were annihilated. The Hawk Emperor instinctively wanted to flee, but found he couldn't move. The Dragon Pearl seemed to have malfunctioned and was no longer under his control. He was engulfed by the sword light amidst screams. The sword light passed by, shattering several star systems along the way. Countless Golden Eagle clansmen died under the sword. The Hawk Emperor couldn't even withstand one sword strike before being obliterated. Only a dragon pearl hung motionless in space. Lin Moxuan stood with her sword sheathed. After her great increase in strength, she was not too weakened from unleashing this sword strike, and still had strength to fight. She turned and flew back, transmitting to Lin Moyu, "The rest is up to you." Lin Moyu and Lin Moxuan exchanged positions as he arrived next to the dragon pearl and took it in hand. The next part was his job. The Golden Eagle clan was on the verge of extinction, with no chance left. Even their ancestral land would be refined into a world crystal, becoming material for Lin Moyu's path of advancement, or perhaps material needed for building the new divine path. The law of cause and effect once again demonstrated its power at this moment, the cause from the past, the effect in the present. The bone hell drifted through space, bringing death. Chapter 2234, 2234. Chapter 2234. Habitual, can't change between the 4-star regions of the human race, there are areas of dark void. These are the remnants of the Black Blood Great World's invasion, scars left in the Great World. For millions of years, the dark void has persisted, a wound from the past that has never healed. Recently, the cross-domain teleportation arrays of the 4-star regions have collectively paused, and everyone is forbidden from entering the dark void. The human race's formations are operating, just like during the 100 Races War, activating defense mode. In front of the cross-domain teleportation array of the Xuanwu Star region, Lin Moyu and Lin Moxuan stood side by side. Lin Moyu was elegant and graceful, like a peerless young master. Lin Moxuan was heroic and beautiful, with an exceptional appearance. As the two stood there, they immediately attracted countless gazes. Their auras were concealed, making it impossible to discern their realms or how powerful they were. Their names and information were hidden, otherwise, it would be too conspicuous. Lin Moyu asked, "Sister, are you really going with me?" Lin Moxuan glanced over with her beautiful eyes, "Is there a problem?" Lin Moyu was at a loss for words, of course, no problem. How could he dare say there was a problem? That would be inviting a beating due to the suppression from their bloodline. At this time, several months had passed since the Golden Eagle clan was exterminated. All the Golden Eagle clan members were killed, and their star systems were brought back to the human race and were currently being transformed. The ancestral land of the Golden Eagle clan was refined into a world crystal by the world-burning fire, becoming Lin Moyu's material. Afterward, Lin Moyu received another reward from the Great World, entering a state of enlightenment for over 20 days. Now, he had converted 2/3 of his laws into the power of rules, completely stabilizing within the other shore realm. The 100 races were exterminated, and the karma of the Great World was mostly severed. Now, the only remaining threat was the Black Blood Great World. Lin Moyu had spent decades searching for the Dragon Pearl while also looking for traces of the Black Blood Great World but had not found them. Having searched within the domain, Lin Moyu finally locked his target on the Dark Void, suspecting that the Black Blood Great World might be hiding there. Lin Moyu had considered going alone, but Lin Moxuan insisted on following. After all, it was the Black Blood Great World, a world that once fought fiercely with the Great World. Even if it was just residual strength, it was not comparable to demons or the Golden Eagle clan. Since Lin Moxuan wanted to follow, he naturally let her, not daring to oppose. Lin Moyu looked at the Dark Void and whispered, "Sister, after dealing with the Black Blood Great World, I need to prepare to welcome the Battle Realm." There were still over 1,200 years until the Battle Realm arrived. Exterminating the 100 races was faster than they expected, giving them more preparation time. Lin Moxuan said, "After dealing with the Black Blood Great World, I will also walk my own path." At this moment, a young cultivator approached, landing in front of the two. He was tall and handsome, exuding vitality, and had reached the realm of a minor god. However, his aura was still unstable, indicating that he had only recently reached the minor god realm. This was a young genius of the human race. In recent years, many young geniuses had emerged within the human race. The human race's luck was strong, continuously breaking previous records. Now, most human cultivators could break through to the super god realm before the age of 100, and those with great talent could break through at the age of 70. The previous standard of 100 years was no longer applicable. Those geniuses could reach the God King realm at 300 years old and the minor god realm at 600 years old. Their cultivation speed was much faster than the older generation, and it seemed that the human race's former glory was about to return. One genius after another emerged, gaining great fame within the human race. The young man in front of them was named Mu Liangyu, a genius in the Xuanwu star region. He had reached the minor god realm before the age of 700 and was expected to advance to the god realm within another 100 years. Mu Liangyu approached the two, cupped his fists, and greeted, "Mu Liangyu greets you, junior brother and junior sister." He felt that Lin Moyu and Lin Moxuan were younger than him, their auras concealed, and their cultivation should be lower than his, so he decisively called them junior brother and junior sister. Lin Moyu asked, "What's the matter?" Mu Liangyu said, "Liangyu saw that the two of you have extraordinary bearing, and you must be geniuses from a prestigious family. I came to make your acquaintance." He was straightforward and spoke the truth. However, he only told half the truth. His gaze was always attracted to Lin Moxuan, clearly indicating that he was mainly interested in her. Lin Moyu nodded, "Understood, you may leave now, don't disturb us." Mu Liangyu was slightly taken aback. Why does junior brother reject people from 1,000 miles away? Liangyu just wants to make friends. Lin Moxuan suddenly smiled, "Yes, little brother, why reject people from 1,000 miles away?" Hearing Lin Moxuan call him little brother, Mu Liangyu was overjoyed, so they are siblings. Siblings, not a couple, that was great news. He almost called out, "Brother-in-law." Seeing Lin Moxuan smile, Mu Liangyu was stunned on the spot, murmuring, "How can someone be so beautiful?" Lin Moxuan's beauty was such that even those with a firm Tao heart in the other shore realm found it hard to resist, let alone a minor god. Just a smile could make people lose their minds. Not only Mu Liangyu, but some young people nearby were also captivated by Lin Moxuan's smile. Lin Moyu helplessly glanced at Lin Moxuan. His sister was teasing him again. He sighed, "Since I can't reject people from 1,000 miles away, then 10,000 miles it is." With a slight release of his aura, Mu Liangyu was instantly sent flying uncontrollably. He couldn't speak or move, flying further and further away, far beyond 10,000 miles. Everyone was stunned, not understanding how Mu Liangyu was suddenly sent flying. Moreover, he flew so far that he was out of sight. Lin Moxuan chuckled, "Little Yu is really straightforward." Lin Moyu said, "Habitual, can't change." Lin Moxuan was usually cold, but when she joked, she was entirely different. Of course, this side of her was only seen by Lin Moyu. "Let's go." Lin Moyu flew up, turning into a stream of light and entering the dark void. Lin Moxuan sighed, "Little brother is becoming colder." She also stepped lightly, entering the dark void. Seeing the two pass through the formation and enter the dark void, the onlookers were in an uproar. Heavens, how can they go out? Didn't the Human Emperor Network say no one could go out? Why can they go out? Why don't they have to follow the Human Emperor Network's orders? Do they have a special status? Their auras are concealed. I suspect they are at least gods, maybe even ancestors of the other shore realm. If they are indeed ancestors of the other shore realm, Mu Liangyu was really blind, deserved to be taught a lesson. By the way, that fairy is truly beautiful. I've never seen anyone so beautiful. At this moment, someone coldly said, "A bunch of ignorant guys, that's Mr. Lin and Fairy Han, figures on par with the Holy Sovereign." Mr. Lin, Fairy Han, are they Lin Moyu and Lin Moxuan? Indeed, it's them, no wonder. Various discussions continued, and the names of Lin Moyu and Lin Moxuan had reached their peak within the human race. Countless young people idolized them, working hard in cultivation, hoping to one day become pillars of the human race like them. In the dark void, the bone hell turned into a mist, advancing all the way. Further away, the undead army spread out, conducting a carpet search of the dark void. As long as the Black Blood Great World was here, it would be found sooner or later. Chapter 2235, 2235. Chapter 2235, when will you continue the family line? In the dark void, there were many cosmic beasts, second only to the border region in number and realm. These cosmic beasts were infected by the power of the Black Blood Great World, becoming extremely bloodthirsty with little rationality. Once they discovered other living beings, they would pursue and kill them. The existence of cosmic beasts became an obstacle for many cultivators, one of the dangers of the dark void. Besides this, there were also many ancient relics left behind here. These relics also contained dangers, the second danger of the dark void. In ancient times, the Dark Void was one of the battlefields, where many supreme saints had fallen, and many rule worlds had not completely shattered. After hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, many of these rule worlds became places worth exploring, where one could find inheritances left behind by ancient powerhouses. The human race had explored the dark void for many years, and many relics had been discovered, from which they obtained quite a few valuable inheritances. At the same time, many cultivators had paid with their lives for this. I once encountered a being here who had survived from ancient times to the present. His strength should have reached the supreme level in ancient times, but he was severely injured and used some special secret realms to survive until now. When he was discovered, his strength was no longer even at the half-step supreme level. I joined forces with Sky Saint Lord and House Saint Lord to kill him. This was also the first black blood person I killed. Lin Moyu recounted his past experiences as a story, telling it to Lin Moxuan. Encountering cultivators from the Black Blood Great World in the Dark Void was just a small episode. However, this was also his first major battle with cultivators from the Black Blood Great World, and it was always a part of his memories. Over the years, the lives of the two had been completely different. Lin Moxuan's life was quiet and monotonous, constantly cultivating to become stronger, not doing much else. Lin Moyu's life, on the other hand, was full of crises, constantly becoming stronger in the face of danger, growing ever more powerful. Lin Moyu had many stories, too many to tell. Lin Moxuan listened attentively. When Lin Moyu had finished speaking, she suddenly asked, "Sister Yuju must be very beautiful, right?" "Indeed, quite beautiful," Lin Moyu instinctively replied, then suddenly realized something was amiss and looked at Lin Moxuan. "Sister, what do you mean?" Lin Moxuan continued, "That star space mermaid princess must also be very beautiful." Lin Moyu sensed something was wrong. His sister's thoughts seemed to be developing in an unpredictable direction. Lin Moyu felt he should stop this topic, but Lin Moxuan didn't let him off. "Little Yu, between Yuzu and the star space mermaid princess, who is more beautiful? Which one do you prefer?" Lin Moyu was exasperated. "Sister, the topic has gone off track." Lin Moxuan shook her head. "I told you in the small world that you need to continue the family line for the Lin family, but unfortunately you haven't been able to do so all these years. As your sister, I naturally worry for you. I didn't interfere before because there were other matters, but now that everything is settled, I naturally have to manage this." Lin Moyu said, "Stop, I have wives, and you have sisters-in-law, 4 of them." Lin Moxuan didn't see it that way. "The 4 sisters-in-law are still in deep sleep. You need to help them defy fate, at least reach the Heavenly Sovereign level, which is still far off. You know how difficult it is to reach Heavenly Sovereign, you might die any day. We can't count on the 4 sisters-in-law for now, so let's think about those we can count on. Yu Zhu, Yu Qingru, oh, and that Lilian." Lin Moyu realized his sister had entered matchmaking mode, which was completely out of character. His eyes darted around, and Lin Moyu asked, "Don't just talk about me, what about you, sister? Do you have someone you like?" Now Lin Moxuan's reputation was at its peak, almost becoming the human race's #1 beauty, and many talented young men wanted to become her Dao companion. Lin Moxuan said, "I don't care, as long as they can meet 2 conditions, I can consider marrying them." Lin Moyu scoffed, "With your 2 conditions, who could possibly meet them?" Lin Moxuan said indifferently, "Then it's not my fault." Lin Moxuan had mentioned her 2 conditions before. First, the person must not be more than 5 years older than her. Second, they must be able to defeat her in battle. These 2 conditions, looking at the entire great world, were impossible for anyone to meet. People of the same age as Lin Moxuan were mostly still at the True God realm. To defeat Lin Moxuan was simply a pipe dream. Lin Moxuan then said, "Don't change the subject, let's continue talking about your matter. When exactly are you going to continue the family line?" Lin Moyu lived up to his name, remaining silent without uttering a word. In this situation, the more he said, the more mistakes he might make. It was better not to say anything. The bone hell brought a glimmer of light to the dark void, devouring countless cosmic beasts. After entering the dark void for over a month, the bone hell had devoured at least hundreds of thousands of cosmic beasts, but still showed no signs of change. After advancing to the other shore realm, the bone hell's upgrades had become extremely slow. Lin Moyu could understand this. After all, with billions of other shore realm hell fiends, their mouths open wide, waiting to be fed, it wasn't easy to satisfy them all. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry. The dark void was just an appetizer, the main course hadn't arrived yet. 2 months later, the undead army conducting a carpet search sent back news that they had discovered some anomalies. Lin Moyu said in a low voice, "We have a discovery." The wings of the dead spread out, the spatial law surged, and a spatial gate opened. The two passed through the spatial gate, traversing thousands of light years. They entered the depths of the dark void, not the center, still over 1,000 light years from the central point. It stinks. Lin Moxuan frowned, her eyes showing intense disgust. The space here was filled with an indescribable stench that reached directly into the soul. Even sealing off one's sense of smell had no effect. Lin Moxuan's body emitted a rosy glow, her soul power surging to block out the stench. Lin Moyu did the same. He flicked his finger, and clusters of undying flames flew out, illuminating the dark void. Over there, in the gray light, they saw a mass of polluted blood. The polluted blood was black and foul-smelling, with bubbles constantly rising from it. It was over 100,000 meters in diameter, suspended in the dark void. Besides the stench, the polluted blood was also filled with the aura of the black blood great world. Lin Moyu said in a low voice, "No mistake, it's the aura of the black blood great world. This polluted blood should have been formed by cosmic beasts. What is the black blood great world trying to do?" Lin Moxuan said, "Who cares what they're trying to do, let's just destroy it." As she spoke, a sword light flashed from Lin Moxuan's hand, slashing towards the polluted blood. She inexplicably despised the polluted blood and struck without mercy. Lin Moyu didn't stop her, but watched as the sword light hit the polluted blood. The sword light passed through the polluted blood and flew into the distance, but the polluted blood remained motionless, showing no change. It still floated in space, emitting a strong stench. It didn't work. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. His mind stirred, and the undead army immediately launched an attack on the polluted blood. Space shook, and the other shore realm attacks cracked space like a spider web. However, all attacks passed through the polluted blood without affecting it at all. Interesting. Lin Moyu's lips curled into a smile. It had been a long time since he'd seen something so intriguing. His attacks actually had no effect. At this moment, his soul felt a slight pain, and an immense sword intent erupted beside him. The sword of destruction appeared behind Lin Moxuan, slashing down towards the polluted blood. From her appearance, it seemed she had truly become angry. Lin Moyu found it strange why his sister would hate the black blood great world so much. The disgust in Lin Moxuan's eyes was obvious and couldn't be hidden. The sword of destruction shattered space, large areas of space collapsed, exposing the deep layers of space. The spatial turbulence was immediately annihilated by the sword light. Chapter 2236, 2236. Chapter 2236. World Origin, River of Time. Lin Moxuan's sword strike was extremely powerful, capable of easily killing even those in the other shore realm. The polluted blood twisted in the sword light, but still wasn't greatly affected. The sword light passed through the polluted blood and disappeared into the deep darkness. Lin Moyu said in a low voice, "Sister, don't try anymore, let me think." Lin Moxuan put away her sword, but the disgust in her eyes grew deeper. She simply closed her eyes, out of sight, out of mind. Even she didn't know why she hated the black blood great world so much, it seemed like an innate instinct. Lin Moyu looked at the polluted blood, pondering the situation just now. The polluted blood twisted in the sword light, so there was some effect, just very weak. His mind stirred, and the skeleton general flew out, trying to touch the polluted blood. The skeletal hand passed through the polluted blood, with no contact between them. The polluted blood was visible to the naked eye, but couldn't be touched. Could it be time and space? Lin Moyu's mind stirred, thinking of a possibility. Although it could be seen, it was in a different time and space, so it couldn't be touched. Lin Moyu thought of when he had once encountered a powerful being from the black blood great world in a secret realm. At that time he was still very weak, and saw the ancient great battle through an ancient talisman. The powerful being from the black blood great world fighting the ancient talisman warrior seemed to see him through time and space. Thinking back now, it was still vivid in his mind. This could prove that the black blood great world also had research on time and space, possibly even deeper than the great world. It's just that their time-space laws were different, so Lin Moyu didn't sense it at first. Lin Moyu muttered to himself, if it really is the power of time and space, what exactly does the black blood great world want to do? The best way to deal with the power of time and space is with the power of time and space. Ordinary levels of power are difficult to affect it. The time and space lost star rivers appeared, and the power of time and space fused in Lin Moyu's hand. At the same time, the bone hell also appeared in his hand, the power of time and space enveloping the bone hell in himself, connecting as one. The bone hell flew out towards the polluted blood. The moment the power of time and space enveloped his body, Lin Moxuan lost her sense of Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was clearly in front of her eyes, but it was as if he had entered another layer of time and space, visible but untouchable. The bone hell made contact with the polluted blood, but the two didn't collide, seemingly overlapping but not touching. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry. He began to adjust the power of time and space, from weak to strong, constantly changing its frequency. He didn't know how many layers of time and space there were, so he just controlled the power of time and space, constantly adjusting. Lin Moyu's time flow speed kept changing, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, his whole person flickering in and out of existence. The power of time and space was very mysterious. Lin Moyu knew he had only touched the surface, there was still a long way to go. Finally, the bone hell and the polluted blood entered the same time and space, instantly colliding. Like boiling water poured into hot oil, the polluted blood immediately boiled. Two powerful forces collided, time and space suddenly collapsed, and the two separated again. Lin Moyu withdrew the power of time and space, returning to normal time and space. Although it was only an instant of contact, it was enough. The bone hell had completed its marking. I can't remember how long it's been since I used this technique. Lin Moyu smiled, taking out corpse after corpse. Each corpse fragment was from the other shore realm, from various race powerhouses and cosmic beasts. As his strength grew stronger and stronger, the marking function of the bone hell was used less and less frequently. He didn't expect to be able to use it now. White star level technique, corpse explosion. Bang! A corpse turned to dust. A violent explosion occurred on the polluted blood, but because it was in a different time and space, no sound was heard. The polluted blood boiled like a volcanic eruption. A large amount of polluted blood annihilated in the explosion, instantly reducing it by a large chunk. One characteristic of corpse explosion is that the attack ignores all obstacles and time limits. To put it bluntly, this characteristic can ignore the obstruction of time and space power, directly targeting the essence. Even hiding in different time and space is useless, it will still be attacked. Not bad. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the effect of the technique. Corpses continuously disappeared, explosions one after another. The polluted blood was annihilated at an alarming rate, becoming less and less. In the blink of an eye, only half of the polluted blood remained, and the stench had also lessened considerably. The polluted blood churned endlessly, and Lin Moyu saw something unusual in it. What's that? Lin Moxuan also saw it. It looks like some kind of crystal. Lin Moyu nodded. Let's blast away a bit more, to see it more clearly. The crystal hidden in the polluted blood was somewhat unusual, very likely the main reason for the formation of the polluted blood. It might also be some kind of arrangement by the Black Blood Great World. The Black Blood Great World arranging polluted blood here and using the power of time and space, their purpose was definitely not simple. After several more explosions, the polluted blood became even less, revealing most of the crystal. An unusual aura emanated from the crystal, and Lin Moyu frowned. Origin power. Lin Moxuan also responded, that's right, it's origin power. Not ordinary origin power, but the origin power of the Black Blood Great World. The aura emanating from it made Lin Moyu feel uncomfortable, and Lin Moxuan was extremely disgusted. Suddenly, the crystal began to shake. The power of time and space was stirred up, raising huge waves. Be careful. Lin Moxuan and Lin Moyu reacted at the same time, immediately retreating, instantly withdrawing millions of miles. The space where they had been exploded, enveloped by a jet black light, everything within the light was ground to dust. The nearby undead army was swallowed by the black light, instantly dying. Even the immortal undead lost their effect and couldn't be revived. The grinding from the power of time and space was extremely powerful, even a Saint Lord would have trouble if encountered. The crystal was releasing the origin power of the Black Blood Great World, glittering in space. The origin power was very strong, churning time and space into a mess. The undead army launched attacks, but had no effect on the power of time and space. Lin Moxuan also tried swinging her sword, with the same result. The power of time and space was mysterious and powerful, ordinary attacks were ineffective. Using the origin of a world to set up an arrangement, the Black Blood Great World is really going all out. Lin Moyu snorted coldly. Ordinary attacks were useless, but his corpse explosion might not be. Corpse explosion blasted out again, explosion after explosion, the crystal shook more and more violently. Its sturdiness exceeded Lin Moyu's imagination. Although corpse explosion could shake it, it couldn't cause real damage. Lin Moyu was about to use a Saint Lord corpse when suddenly both of them looked up. Several beams of light were seen shooting from afar, passing through the dark void, converging with the crystal of the Black Blood Great World. The originally lightless dark void suddenly lit up, and a giant river appeared in space. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly. This is the River of Time. In the Divine City, several Saint Lords flew out simultaneously. The human Emperor and Old Star also appeared together. They also saw the River of Time, vast and boundless, just floating there in space. Not just them, but any cultivator in the human race's star region, as long as they had reached the other shore realm, could see the River of Time. The human Emperor and Old Star's expressions changed drastically. Something's wrong. Chapter 2237, 2237. Chapter 2237, Supreme. It's not like we haven't killed one before something went wrong, and Lin Moyu, the instigator, knew it too. The River of Time, a forbidden realm that even heavenly sovereigns find difficult to enter, is useless even for the Time Heavenly Sovereign. It has no rule threshold, yet it has the highest threshold. In the great world, if anyone has ever entered the River of Time, it would only be that mysterious master. But whether he actually entered or not, nobody knows. The appearance of the River of Time made Lin Moyu realize that things were not good. The other three sources of origin power came from three different areas of the Dark Void. The four areas of Dark Void were connected by origin power, vast and magnificent, yet also carrying a blood-colored terror. Lin Moyu had a sudden realization. I know what they're trying to do. They're using the origin power of the Black Blood Great World to summon the River of Time, attempting to call forth the powerful beings from the Black Blood Great World's past. Summoning the powerful beings from the River of Time to the present world for battle. This method certainly couldn't last long, but it didn't need to. If they could summon a heavenly sovereign, even for just half a day, it would be enough to destroy most of the human race's star regions. Then all the efforts made before would be in vain. The most terrifying thing is that a heavenly sovereign can directly attack the great world's runes. In their current state, the runes certainly couldn't withstand another heavy blow. The River of Time flowed slowly, with figures of people appearing in it. Each figure was a powerful being from the past, with terrifying auras. They were all powerful beings from the Black Blood Great World, once great existences in the history of the Black Blood Great World. Among them were several auras that Lin Moyu knew he was no match for just by sensing them. If such figures descended to the present world, he would surely die, and any resistance would be futile. A fierce look flashed in Lin Moyu's eyes as he gritted his teeth. What a vicious method. Naturally, he wouldn't sit idly by. He took out all the Saint Lord corpses he had, and the colorful water flew out recklessly, with a full 1,000 drops on each corpse. Over 10 million portions of belief power burned fiercely, pushing the power of the technique to the extreme. White star level technique, corpse explosion. The Saint Lord corpses turned to dust, exploding violently on the crystal. The crystal rumbled continuously, finally showing cracks on its surface. Lin Moyu spared no cost, using up all the Saint Lord corpses he had. Explosion after explosion continued, ignoring space and transcending time. The crystal endured the impact of corpse explosion again and again. Each explosion was more powerful than a Saint Lord's full power attack. The cracks on the crystal grew more and more numerous. Finally, after 6 consecutive corpse explosions, the crystal shattered. The origin power dispersed, and of the 4 sources of origin power, only 3 remained. The River of Time was shaken, and the auras that had appeared in it immediately weakened. Those few overwhelmingly powerful auras that inspired despair disappeared. This was all Lin Moyu could do. The other 3 sources of origin power converged in the River of Time, and he was powerless to stop it. The Black Blood Great World's arrangements over countless years couldn't be so easily broken. Being able to weaken it was already no small feat. Lin Moyu looked at the River of Time and murmured, the Black Blood Great World probably wasn't fully prepared. They were forced to suddenly activate their plan when we stumbled upon it. They've accumulated such an enormous power, using the blood essence of cosmic beasts as a catalyst and origin power as the main force to summon the River of Time. The more power they accumulate, the higher the realm of the powerful beings they can summon. The 4 areas of Dark Void are like 4 strongholds. Now that I've destroyed a quarter of the strongholds, the powerful beings they can summon should be weaker than before. I could sense the aura of a heavenly sovereign earlier, but now that aura is gone. What's coming should be a supreme. Lin Moxuan listened to Lin Moyu's explanation and calmly said, even if it's a supreme that comes, they won't exist for long. As long as we can hold out, they'll return to the river of time. Lin Moyu said, the great world will make corrections. If the great world's power was strong and undamaged, they wouldn't even be able to summon anything. But now, the great world is too weak, and I'm afraid it will be difficult to make corrections. Summoning powerful beings from the river of time is essentially breaking the rules. The great world naturally won't allow it and will make corrections. But the great world's power is now very weak, and corrections will be very slow, meaning they'll need to hold out for a long time. Lin Moxuan suddenly chuckled, then let's not hold out. No matter who comes, we'll just kill them. Seeing this, Lin Moyu suddenly felt relaxed too. Sister is right. We can't fight a heavenly sovereign, but a supreme. It's not like we haven't killed one before. He had killed the forest supreme, and although it wasn't directly by his hand in the end, it could still be counted as his kill. As for pseudo-supremes like the Demon Lord and Hawk Emperor, he had killed 2 of them. This kind of thing is nothing. The river of time rolled on, with countless figures surging and roaring within it, emitting terrifying auras. They were struggling frantically, trying to break out. But an invisible force blocked them, and they couldn't get out. The origin power of the Black Blood Great World continued to exert force, growing stronger and stronger, finally opening a channel. The channel only lasted for an instant, summoning a warrior from the river of time. The person who left the river of time wore black clothes and held a slender blood sword, emitting a shocking aura. Lin Moyu sighed, fortunately, it's not a heavenly sovereign. Lin Moxuan smiled, I don't know which era this powerful being is from, but since they've come here, let them disappear forever. Lin Moyu also smiled, indeed, we don't even need to leave the slightest trace. He didn't know which era this person was from, but Lin Moyu knew that as long as he killed them, even their traces in the river of time would be completely erased. That would be true death, with no trace to be found throughout history. Even the people of the Black Blood Great World would lose all memories of them. Everything would disappear. The black-clad person burst out of the river of time, black chi rolling, letting out an angry roar, fight. He took a deep breath, and light suddenly bloomed in the dark void. It wasn't that there was a light source, but that he had absorbed all the darkness, making a large area of space bright. The black-clad person's momentum was strong as he charged towards Lin Moxuan. Lin Moxuan let out a light shout, the sword of destruction appearing in her hand behind her back. The sword intent tore through space, rumbling loudly. One sword to part the sea. The starry sky transformed into a vast sea of realms, and Lin Moxuan, holding the sword of destruction, slashed to split open the sea, simultaneously destroying all the worlds within it. The sword light exploded, and an immense sword without borders appeared in space, slashing towards the black-clad person. Seeing this sword for the 3rd time, Lin Moyu still found it shocking. This sword was extremely terrifying and shockingly powerful. If Lin Moxuan's realm were a bit higher, reaching supreme, she could probably instantly kill a supreme of the same level. The black-clad person swung out countless bloodlines, forming a blood-colored great sword that clashed with the sword of destruction. Space shook violently, and within several light years, countless cosmic beasts instantly died. Their bodies were covered in wounds as if injured by sword chi, and their souls were torn to shreds by the sword intent. The enormous power shook the river of time, causing it to distort under this attack. The black-clad person was forcefully blown away, though he didn't appear to be injured. Countless vines filled the starry sky, lashing out at the black-clad person. The Forest Supreme emerged from space, his attacks as dense as rain covering a large area of space, giving the black-clad person no chance to dodge. Chapter 2238, 2238. Chapter 2238. Still underestimating the staff of calamity after Lin Moxuan advanced to half-step supreme, not only did her combat power increase tremendously, but her endurance also improved significantly. She was no longer like before, where she would become weak after swinging her sword once. Now she could continuously use her sword and fight for extended periods. One sword strike repelled the black-robed man, demonstrating Lin Moxuan's terrifying power. The opponent was a true supreme, much stronger than the Hawk Emperor or Demon Lord. The Forest Supreme's sudden appearance launched a fierce attack on the black-robed man. The black-robed man swung his blood sword, slashing out countless blood-colored sword lights, constantly cutting through branches and vines. But the Forest Supreme's regeneration speed was astonishingly fast, especially after becoming a revived being. Its realm was even higher than when it was alive, and its combat power was stronger than before. It engaged in a fierce battle with the black-robed man, not expecting to defeat him, but at least to stall for a significant amount of time. The black-robed man came from the river of time and couldn't stay for too long. Lin Moxuan attacked again, coordinating with the Forest Supreme to fight against the black-robed man. Sword chi crisscrossed through the starry sky, erasing laws and shattering space. The Forest Supreme and Lin Moxuan joined forces, barely managing to fight the black-robed man to a standstill. However, Lin Moyu knew clearly that they were no match for the black-robed man. After all, the black-robed man was a supreme, and a relatively strong one at that. The Forest Supreme was among the weakest of the Supremes. Even though being a revived being enhanced him, there was still a gap. The same was true for Lin Moxuan, who was only at half-step Supreme. Her combat power at best was only comparable to the Forest Supreme. Given enough time, they would inevitably be defeated. To deal with the black-robed man, they needed to find another way. Lin Moyu's attention fell on the River of Time. The black-robed man came from the River of Time, so if they wanted to quickly resolve this, manipulating the River of Time would be the best method. With a thought, countless undead armies appeared densely in the starry sky. Skeleton generals, death dragon knights, and legion rulers all appeared together. 3 billion undead troops were deployed all at once. Then the undying flames exploded, and 25 skeleton thrones flew out from the flames, with skeleton kings rising in response. Kill. At Lin Moyu's command, the 3 billion undead troops launched a fierce attack on the River of Time. The starry sky was filled with white bones, and the attacks were dazzlingly brilliant. The bone law appeared, countless lost star rivers converged into a sea, turning into a vast ocean. Unfortunately, their attacks had no effect on the River of Time. All attacks disappeared as they fell into the river. The bone hell flew out and landed on the River of Time. Hellfire burned fiercely, and hell fiends pounced out, biting at the River of Time. The River of Time began to shake. It had always been high and mighty, but now it was actually being damaged. Lin Moyu had a sudden realization of what was happening. Ever since the bone hell fused with the undying law, it gained the power of both reality and illusion. The hell fiends could devour anything, no matter what it was, they could take a bite out of it, even the River of Time was no exception. But the River of Time was too vast. Even 100 billion hell fiends were just a drop in the ocean. Lin Moyu had an idea. The undying Lost Star River, Time Lost Star River, and Space Lost Star River all appeared beneath his feet simultaneously. In the next second, Lin Moyu stepped on the Lost Star Rivers and arrived at the River of Time. As he approached the River of Time, Lin Moyu sensed something was wrong. The closer he got to the River of Time, the more chaotic time became. What might have been just a second for him could have been half a day in the outside world. The power of time flowed, and Lin Moyu used his own Time Lost Star River to envelop himself, resisting the power of the River of Time. Although this made time normal, he still found it difficult to approach the River of Time. My realm is still too low. Lin Moyu mocked himself. In the next second, the undying law poured down like a waterfall. Dense death power fell onto the River of Time. The death power also possessed the characteristic of corroding everything. Previously, when the River of Time was not visible, Lin Moyu couldn't touch it, so naturally, he had no way to deal with it. But now that the River of Time had been summoned and revealed itself, well, that was unfortunate for it. The death power fell into the River of Time, making a sizzling sound as it rampaged within. Faintly, Lin Moyu heard angry roars coming from the River of Time. Time in the river boiled like waves, no longer calm. Lin Moyu coldly snorted, "Since you've involved yourself in this matter, you must pay the price. Even if you are the River of Time, an existence that even heavenly sovereigns can't approach, so what? As long as you provoke me, I won't let you off easily either." Lin Moyu continued to pour down death power relentlessly. He then fused his time and space powers together, forming space-time power. With a thought, Lin Moyu enveloped the River of Time with space-time power, attempting to place it in a different void. His soul world rumbled as the terrifying power of the River of Time traveled along the space-time power into his soul. A torrent of time rushed towards Lin Moyu's soul. If his soul couldn't withstand the washing of the time torrent, he would be forever lost in time, and Lin Moyu would no longer exist in reality. Lin Moyu coldly snorted, unafraid, and didn't even let the world tree intervene. Please vote. Just as the time torrent was about to arrive, his soul raised the Staff of Calamity. The seemingly unremarkable Staff of Calamity had two equally unremarkable gems embedded in it. The Soul Gem and the Elemental Gem. Lin Moyu had no idea how to use these two gems. For now, he could only use the Staff of Calamity as a baton. It worked well as a baton, hitting accurately every time. Even facing the time torrent, Lin Moyu was confident he could smash it to pieces. When his soul raised the Staff of Calamity, the time torrent suddenly braked, making a sharp turn at the last moment and fleeing rapidly. It fled much faster than when it came, almost in a panic. Lin Moyu was stunned on the spot. What's going on? He realized that the River of Time had consciousness and knew what he was doing. His actions had angered it, so it launched an attack on him. He was merely at the other shore realm, less than an ant in front of the River of Time. Crushing him wouldn't take any effort at all, but when it saw the Staff of Calamity, the River of Time became afraid and fled for its life. Is the Staff of Calamity really that powerful? Lin Moyu discovered that he had still underestimated the Staff of Calamity. This thing wasn't just tough, it should be very strong. At this moment, he suddenly thought of his small world. Back then, it was said that a strange treasure had fallen into his small world. Now thinking about it, could it have been the Staff of Calamity? Besides it, there didn't seem to be anything stronger in the small world. This was something that even the River of Time feared. It was hard to imagine how high its level was. In the next second, he took out the Staff of Calamity from his soul world, and with a mischievous smile, he charged towards the River of Time. Normally, it would be difficult for him to approach the River of Time, but he had space-time power. Using space-time power, he entered another layer of space-time, using this to counter the resistance of the River of Time. The River of Time was very strong, and Lin Moyu's approach was slow, but he was still getting closer. The River of Time rumbled continuously. It seemed to be trembling, afraid. Suddenly, the River of Time began to fade. It was retreating. Using time, it began to escape. In just 3 seconds, the vast and boundless River of Time disappeared from the starry sky, as if it had never appeared. As soon as it left, the black-robed man froze, then dissipated like smoke. Without the support of time, this powerful being from an unknown era also lost all power. Chapter 2239, 2239. Chapter 2239. Arrangements. Starting from ancient times, the River of Time was frightened away by the Staff of Calamity. The River of Time has consciousness and knows how formidable the Staff of Calamity is. This indicates that at some point in the past, the Staff of Calamity had displayed an incomparably terrifying power, a power sufficient to make the consciousness of the River of Time feel fear. Otherwise, given how powerful the River of Time is, how could it possibly be afraid? However, there's another possibility. The River of Time was summoned here by someone using origin power, so it also has many limitations. Otherwise, according to Lin Moyu's thinking, the River of Time could simply find a few heavenly sovereign-level experts from the ages and crush him countless times over. No matter how powerful the Staff of Calamity is, it wouldn't be able to hit a heavenly sovereign. Lin Moyu silently pondered, considering various possibilities. The facts proved the formidability of the Staff of Calamity, but such a powerful treasure was ultimately shattered. 5 gems were scattered to various places. Lin Moyu has only found 2 so far, with the other 3 still missing. Perhaps they can be found, or perhaps they'll never be found again. The world is vast, and the 3 gems may not necessarily be in the Great World. Finding them would be no easier than becoming a Dao sovereign. Lin Moyu didn't have high hopes. For things like this, it depends on fate. If it's fated, they'll naturally be found. If not, there's no use forcing it. Putting away the Forest Supreme, Lin Moyu let out a sigh of relief. Those guys from the Black Blood Great World probably never imagined their plan would end this way. Lin Moxuan also relaxed at this point. If the plan had succeeded, it truly would have been a killing blow. The human race would have suffered heavy losses. According to the Black Blood Great World's plan, the 4 areas of Dark Void and 4 origin crystals working together would have been enough to summon a heavenly sovereign from the River of Time. However, their plan was disrupted by Lin Moyu, forcing them to act prematurely when preparations were insufficient. Even so, they still had a chance to summon a heavenly sovereign. Later, when Lin Moyu destroyed one of the origin crystals, their power was greatly weakened, resulting in only summoning a Supreme. A Supreme is very powerful. Even with Lin Moxuan and the Forest Supreme joining forces, they were helpless against him. Given enough time, they would have been defeated. One can imagine the consequences if a powerful Supreme had invaded the human race's star regions. In just half a day, a Supreme could destroy numerous star systems, causing countless casualties. If given more time, the damage to the human race would be immeasurable, possibly even shaking their foundations. If that had happened, the Black Blood Great World's plan would have been half successful. They didn't expect Lin Moyu to possess the Staff of Calamity, directly scaring away the River of Time, leading to the complete failure of the Black Blood Great World's plan. With the River of Time fleeing and the origin power receding, Lin Moyu coldly smiled, found them. When the Bone Hell appeared earlier, it had interacted with the Black Blood Great World's origin power, marking it. Now that the origin power has receded, the mark still exists, essentially giving Lin Moyu an accurate location. They completely exposed themselves. Of the 4 areas of Dark Void, 3 remain. Lin Moyu only needs to search them one by one to quickly find them. A space gate opened, and the 2 traversed vast distances, heading towards another area of Dark Void. Each space gate could cross 10,000 light years, moving extremely fast. In just a few minutes, they had passed through the Xuanwu Star region and entered another area of Dark Void. The first stop was the Dark Void between the Xuanwu Star region and the Qinglong Star region. With the mark as a guide, Lin Moyu found the target location almost effortlessly. The foul-smelling polluted blood, identical to before, floated and sank in the Dark Void. The polluted blood was surrounded by the time-space power of the Black Blood Great World, placing it in another layer of time-space. Ordinary attacks were completely ineffective against it. This is precisely why the Black Blood Great World was so reckless. Even if discovered, what could the human race's Saint Lords do? They just didn't expect to encounter an anomaly like Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't disturb the polluted blood. He knew that as soon as he touched it, the Black Blood Great World would sense it. These vermin were hiding too deeply. They needed to be dug out all at once and eliminated in one fell swoop. Lin Moyu dispatched the undead army, radiating outward from the polluted blood to search, but after half a day, they found nothing. He judged that if the Black Blood Great World people were hiding, they wouldn't be too far away. Even the slightest trace wouldn't escape the undead army's search. Lin Moxuan remained motionless. She was meditating with closed eyes to recover her strength. Her previous consumption had been significant, and there would surely be a big battle ahead. She needed to maintain her peak condition. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry. After searching around the polluted blood for 10 days, he finally gave up. They're not here. Let's go to the next location. The Black Blood Great World had been hiding for so many years and had taken root. They couldn't escape in such a short time, so there was no need to rush. Space gates opened one after another, and the 2 arrived at the Dark Void between the Qinglong Star region and the Zook Star region. Quickly finding the location of the polluted blood, Lin Moyu repeated the process, continuing to search. After another 10 days, still no results. Next stop. The 2 headed to the final location, the Dark Void between the Zook Star region and the Baihu Star region. The polluted blood remained unchanged, showing no difference. The polluted blood in the 4 areas of Dark Void looked identical, with no discernible differences, maintaining some kind of balance. The polluted blood was just the surface. The real core was the origin crystal inside. Lin Moyu searched for another 10 days, still with no results. His eyes narrowed. Could I have guessed wrong? Is the Black Blood Great World not hiding near the polluted blood? Or did I miss something? Lin Moyu pondered. He felt his judgment shouldn't be wrong. The hiding place of the Black Blood Great World certainly wouldn't be too far from the polluted blood. Lin Moxuan finished her meditation, restored to her peak condition. Although she had been meditating along the way, she had also been thinking. She usually didn't like to use her brain much, preferring to let her sword do the talking in most situations. But this doesn't mean she can't think. There are no fools among the Saint Lords in the world. It's just a matter of whether they're willing to think or not. Lin Moxuan said, "Little you, how do you think the Black Blood Great World's arrangements maintain balance?" Lin Moyu's eyes suddenly lit up, a flash of inspiration. Lin Moxuan's words gave him an idea. He waved out a star map, which appeared in 3 dimensions, displaying the entire domain space. The 4 areas of Dark Void occupied a significant portion of the star regions, appearing to be evenly distributed between the 4 star regions. If the 4 star regions were divided into 8 parts, the Dark Voids would be perfectly balanced with the 4 star regions. This situation hadn't seemed significant before, but now as Lin Moyu looked at it again, he had a different feeling. The Dark Voids seemed more like the result of deliberate arrangement. If such an arrangement had persisted from ancient times until now, that would be terrifying. What kind of arrangement could last from ancient times until now, taking so long? The purpose behind it must be incredibly shocking. Lin Moyu murmured, it's possible that summoning the River of Time was just one step. The true core purpose may not lie here. Lin Moxuan also said, the Black Blood Great World is the main culprit behind the Great World's decline. Their strength cannot be underestimated. Whatever arrangements they make, we shouldn't be surprised. Lin Moyu nodded slightly, his finger lightly tapping to mark all the locations of the polluted blood, including the one that had been destroyed. Lines were drawn connecting the 4 polluted blood locations as coordinates, avoiding the areas occupied by the human race, forming numerous intersection points. Countless intersection points formed a straight line. The Black Blood Great World was very likely hiding somewhere along this line. Lin Moyu's expression suddenly changed. This line passed through the human race's divine city and the human emperor's body. This situation was very abnormal. It indicated that the Black Blood Great World knew the exact locations of the divine city and the human emperor's body. From this, it could also be deduced that the Black Blood Great World's arrangements were certainly not limited to the River of Time. They must have other plans in store. Let's go. The space gate opened once again. Chapter 2240, 2240. Chapter 2240, Want me to bow down? No way. The space gate opened repeatedly, and the two of them traversed tens of thousands of light years, leaving the human star region. Following the straight line drawn earlier, Lin Moyu began his search. He continuously opened space gates, limiting the distance of each gate to 10 light years, while simultaneously releasing a massive number of skeleton generals to conduct a carpet search within this 10 light-year range. Thanks to his previous training in the Shuangxing secret realm, Lin Moyu had an extremely precise grasp of spatial scales, with minimal error. Lin Moyu felt a vague sense of unease. What could the Black Blood Great World be planning? They've been setting this up for so many years. Besides the River of Time, what else are they trying to do? Lin Moyu's concerns were not without reason. His extremely sensitive soul was warning him that things were far from over. Lin Moxuan said, think positively. At least we discovered their setup in advance. Just like the River of Time, their power hasn't yet reached its peak. If their power had reached its peak, those setups would have been activated long ago. Lin Moyu said, we'll take it as it comes. For now, they could only respond to each move as it came. Before coming here, he had returned to the human race and informed the human emperor of his suspicions and judgments. The human emperor immediately activated the formations to protect the entire human star region. At the same time, the Saint Lords and Old Star all went on alert, ready to face a great battle at any moment. The incident with the River of Time had already taken them by surprise. The human emperor analyzed a massive amount of data and found that Lin Moyu's words made sense. The existence of the Dark Void was not simple. All the star regions of various races had been emptied, leaving the star systems very sparse. After more than 10 days of searching, they finally made a discovery 10,000 light-years away from the human star region. In the dim starry sky, there was an area densely packed with debris and remnants. A great battle had once taken place here, shattering the stars into countless fragments that drifted in this area. This area was inconspicuous. In the vast starry sky, such areas were common, and normally no one would come here. Lin Moyu found traces of the Black Blood Great World here, including the presence of polluted blood, identical to the polluted blood in the Dark Void. Lin Moyu stood before the polluted blood, eyes reflecting deep thought. The 5th batch of polluted blood. When they summoned the River of Time earlier, it didn't activate, but I have a feeling it's connected to the other batches of polluted blood. He summoned the star map again, connecting the 5th batch of polluted blood to form a new star map. It seemed nothing was unusual. At this moment, Lin Moxuan lightly tapped a spot on the star map. What if there's another one here? Lin Moxuan pointed to another end, also on the straight line that ran through the human star region, located at the other end of the line. If there was another batch of polluted blood here, it would mean that 6 points of polluted blood formed a cage, completely surrounding the human star region. Lin Moyu drew the lines but still felt something was off. Not just this, there must be more. With a thought, the lines on the star map extended further, eventually reaching different areas. Lin Moyu was suddenly shocked. The 4 battlegrounds. Lin Moxuan softly said, it should be. It indeed connects to the 4 battlegrounds. Lin Moyu said, let's go back and inform the human emperor. The space gate opened, and the two returned at the fastest speed. The 4 battlegrounds, Zook, Xuanwu, Qinglong, and Baihu. The history of the 4 battlegrounds also dates back to ancient times, extremely distant. In the 4 battlegrounds, there are many imprints left from ancient battles. Lin Moyu had once discovered mysterious manners, ancient battlefields, and strange beings that had survived from ancient times. Lin Moyu didn't understand before, only knowing that resources could be obtained and training could be conducted in the 4 battlegrounds. Now, thinking back, the resources of the Great World are difficult to regenerate. The only place where new resources might appear is the 4 battlegrounds. Clearly, for the Great World, the 4 battlegrounds are also a very special existence. Why they are special, Lin Moyu didn't know. In Lin Moyu's plan, the 4 battlegrounds were also included. After completely severing karma, the human race would send a massive number of gods to the 4 battlegrounds to bring back a large number of resources, further enhancing the human race's luck. The combined star regions of the 4 battlegrounds are larger than the star regions occupied by the human race. If the Black Blood Great World truly has arrangements within, searching will be extremely difficult. Returning to the human star region, Lin Moyu immediately contacted the human emperor and informed him of his findings. The human emperor began analyzing immediately, searching for answers through a massive amount of data. This analysis took the human emperor a long time, a full day before he got an answer. The answer was not far from Lin Moyu's guess. The 4 battlegrounds, the 4 dark voids, and the polluted blood connecting both ends of the human star region formed a giant net, completely enveloping the human star region. Moreover, the human emperor obtained some information from extremely ancient records. In ancient times, the Black Blood Great World had once triggered a black blood frenzy. A sea of blood submerged vast star regions, devouring countless beings, and many human supreme beings died in the sea of blood. The formation of the 4 dark voids was also related to that black blood frenzy. According to records, the black blood frenzy required the use of world origin power. Combining this with the current situation, the human emperor concluded that the probability of the Black Blood Great World triggering a black blood frenzy exceeded 50%. Now the problem had become very troublesome. Lin Moyu no longer had Saint Lord corpses and couldn't continue to destroy the remaining polluted blood. Currently, the Great World has no supreme beings, almost rendering them helpless against the Black Blood Great World. Even if they found the remnants of the Black Blood Great World, it wouldn't necessarily stop the black blood frenzy from happening. Now, all the human emperor could do was reinforce the formations, in case a black blood frenzy did occur, to minimize damage. Lin Moyu pondered for a moment and said in a deep voice, "I'll go find Tianlong." The human race's understanding of the black blood frenzy was limited. Perhaps Tianlong would know more. Moreover, he had the 2nd dragon pearl. Even if Tianlong didn't give him face, he would have to give face to the dragon pearl. Lin Moxuan softly said, "I won't go." Lin Moyu nodded slightly. It was good that Lin Moxuan wouldn't go, she could focus on her cultivation. In case something happened, she could help. At least she was currently the strongest combat power of the human race, stronger than Old Star and the human emperor. The space gate opened, and Lin Moyu headed to the boundary at the fastest speed. Each time, he crossed 10,000 light years. Lin Moyu's current speed was second only to the Saint Lords of the Starry Skyfish clan. Crossing hundreds of thousands of light years, Lin Moyu rushed into the boundary and quickly entered Tianlong's domain. Before he got close to Tianlong, he heard Tianlong's roar from afar, filled with anger. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. Is someone fighting with Tianlong? But there was no sign of battle in the space. Tianlong was not fighting but arguing. "Come with us. The punishment you've received here is enough. The elders have granted you permission to return. As long as you go back and admit your mistake, the past will be forgiven, and the elders will find a way to restore your dragon pearl." A familiar voice came, and Lin Moyu saw the old familiar dragon, Shengguang. Shengguang was currently transforming from a holy dragon to a divine dragon. His appearance had changed somewhat from before, but he still needed some time to complete the transformation. Tianlong glared angrily at Shengguang, "Go back and tell those old guys that even if I die, I won't go back. Want me to bow down? No way. Let them give up on that idea." Shengguang said softly, "This world is about to be destroyed, with only 1,000 years left. Why persist?" Tianlong snorted coldly, "It's just death. And no one knows if this world will be destroyed. Those old guys just saw fragments of fate, which can't be trusted.